I'm sorry. I am still recuperating.
No.
Give a fuck.
My head still hurts.
Stop licking doorknobs and you wouldn't be sick.
No. Jeremiah brought that plague into my house.
So he licks doorknobs?
No, I was blaming it on the
The
Hardee's lady
schnozberries
that
taste
was
like
hitting on him.
schnozberries.
I was like, oh, you was hanging out with that Hardee's lady behind my back, weren't you? Because it was like the next day after we went to Hardee's.
See the Hardee's lady?
Yeah.
Is he hitting it?
That's what I said. I said, quit
How many
fucking
teeth does she
around with
have?
this. Like 3. She kept talking to him. It was like, sweetie, honey. And I was like, I had to give him some shit, you know.
Right.
Like, you got it from that Hardee's lady.
Listen here, you Hardee's bitch. I will fucking find you.
There's a worse one out at Kroger.
Dad's his only
She's
son,
always
too.
hitting on him.
What?
She was the one waving the money out the window.
Probably.
Say what?
There's some lady at Kroger, like one of the cashiers or whatever, that's always hitting on him, like bad. Like I've been there, and it's like,
One of the
I hear-
cashiers?
yeah,
Which one?
I don't know.
At Kroger?
Yeah, I don't know her name.
He's always at Kroger. I just saw him at Kroger last week.
Dude, he will go to the store when I don't need anything. Like he'll just be like Saturdays or whatever when I'm not asking for nothing or whatever. He'll be like, I think I'm gonna go to the store and get this, and this, and I'm like, okay.
Crystal's mom is always at. I just saw her at the store today. I'm like,
He reminds me of Uncle Gene.
Yeah.
Got to go to the store every day.
it's crazy. I'm like,
Sometimes I need stuff. I'll be honest. Like, it is my fault
Yeah,
probably, I don't know, 60, 70% of the time.
Uncle Gene is a whiz when it comes to finding deals at
Oh,
stores.
you ain't kidding. He probably spends $20 a week on groceries.
lucky bastard. I wish I could do that.
He goes to
Couponing,
all
man.
the
He spends a
stores.
lot of time doing. You know
Yeah,
what I
he
mean?
goes to, like,
he's
all the
retired, so
stores.
that's all he does. He'll just go to store after store after store trying to find
The better deals.
the best deals.
Yeah, but then you're just wasting money and time.
Well, he gets the ads and all that in the mail. It shows you like what prices.
yeah, that's
are.
the one thing that you don't
And
get
then
in the
he
mail
just
much
goes-
anymore. You don't get a lot of coupons anymore.
Yeah, then
I
he
do.
just
like
goes.
you used to. We get them every once in a while.
Yeah, he just goes to all the stores when he sees like, okay, this is cheaper here, here, here. Okay, I'll go there.
Yeah, he hits the.
Isn't
he
there
hits all
like
the
a
places.
coupon app where you can get coupons?
Sure.
On Kroger, they give like if you go on there to get, because like I use Kroger now. I don't like Walmart anymore. They suck. But like I went to Kroger.
I've never went to Walmart for groceries.
Well, I did for a long time because I thought Kroger's was too expensive. But then like when I started going to Kroger because Walmart pissed me off, like I go to Kroger and then like next thing you know, I'm spending I was able to drop my budget for groceries because between the coupons, your Kroger card and
Yeah.
all that, like holy shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, they
it's
give a lot of
insane.
deals. You just got to look for them.
Yeah, it's insane, and they'll give you your coupon.
Yeah, they give you coupon. Like whenever you buy shit, it prints out more coupons for you. It's like, yeah, all right.
Or if you're online doing like a the click list or whatever, it just like it'll come up and say there's a coupon for this. It's like, oh, sign me up.
You remember being
Yeah.
a kid and you seen like all those coupon little things? You just
Pull
kept
them
pulling them
out.
out.
You're always
Your
pulling
mom's
it out.
like, what are you doing? I
Yeah.
got coupons.
I got coupons.
They're the same fucking thing.
We don't even use this. Oh.
We don't even use that kind of detergent.
50 coupons just
You
laying
can,
on the ground.
Yeah.
I got
wonder how
coupons
long that
for it.
lasts. I mean, like, I remember it being for years, but, like,
Yeah.
how long did it take them to realize that
This
people were
is
just, like, kids were
This
just
is just
fucking
kids
messing
like
with
pulling these out.
them?
You know how many trees we probably killed?
Oh,
my
man.
An entire
God.
generation of kids killing trees because of coupons.
No,
Dude,
those,
you were bored
those
at the
coupons are
grocery
made out
store
of
with your
plastic.
mom. Like, it was so boring.
It was, yeah.
I thought you said born.
No, it was
It's funny.
boring. Like, you go in there and, like,
Kids nowadays don't even have to experience that anymore.
no, there's so much shit that they don't have to deal. If mom and dad wanted to go to Lowe's, shoot me in the face.
I like
I
those.
hated it.
Now, as a grown
Now, as a
man,
grown person,
I'm like,
like,
I
go-
love Lowe's.
That
Let's
is
go
that
to
is my
Lowe's,
that's my
baby.
toy. That's like
Yeah.
our toys. It's
Yeah,
like,
it's like,
I
oh
can use
yeah,
that.
I
I
get
can
to
use
fix shit
that.
at the house. Like it's so exciting.
Like, it's fun to be at
not.
Lowe's, and
It
then you bring it
sucks.
all home, and then you're like, I have to do shit with this now.
Yeah, you get home, you're like, I bought it. It's gonna sit there for like a month before I get to it.
And then that one time you find something to use it for, you're like, yes, I knew I got
Yeah.
it for this.
Yep. You go to Lowe's and you're like, it's like a kid in a candy store. You're
Yeah.
like, you're like, yeah, man, I'm just.
I could
And
use
then
this
you-
all
for
this stuff. I
I
could
could
use all
it
this
for
shit.
this.
Yeah.
You get it home and it's just you're just stockpiling the shit in your garage.
Yeah.
And whenever you finally use it, you're like, yeah, babe, this is what it was.
See, this is why I bought this. I knew we were gonna need it, and then
I
you're
knew
like,
we were gonna need this for this specific reason.
honey, you bought it 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Shh.
But the problem didn't come
But
up
it came
till
in
now.
handy now.
My calculations
I knew it was gonna
were
happen. We
off.
had the money.
But the sad part is we don't buy things that we actually need. Like we'll go to Lowe's or Menards, and we'll buy shit that like we don't need instead of buying things like light bulbs. Oh, our bulb is out. Oh, we don't have any.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, we'll pick them up next time we're at Lowe's. Never got any. We don't have any. We still don't have any light bulbs.
I have light bulbs hidden around my room upstairs because I went through a phase of like having really bright lights, and then I went through a phase of just having like really dim lights, and then I went back through the phase of having like the medium lights. And
those
now
are her
I have...
emo stages. Those low lights.
And now I have bright lights and the low lights. I have a fairy light bulb. It's really pretty. I have to show it to you sometime.
Okay.
I have one of the purple weird ones that make the room glow, right? I have an orange one, and then I have 2 regular light bulbs for whenever I need to see.
I think the only specialty light bulbs I ever bought were the ones that look like flames.
You just need to get one of those dimmable.
Those are for my lights
That's what I
outside.
had, but it had to connect to my phone,
Yeah.
and anytime I'd leave, I'd come back home and I'd turn my light off, and I'd
These
turn my
lights
light
here are
back
pretty
on
awesome.
and
You
start
change the colors on
flashing
them and shit.
until I got it.
Well,
to
that's
connect
what
to
I have on
phone.
my
It was
porch.
so
Yeah.
annoying because some of them wouldn't connect to my phone.
Is Madison having a rave in her fucking bedroom?
I gotta go in there. I'm like, Madison, there's too many lights in here. And they're always like different colors and shit. I'm like, turn these
pretty.
off. Like, just turn on
She's
a regular
going for
light
mood,
bulb.
man.
Orange, purple, and like a dim blue. That's the 3 colors that are in my light, and it's pretty. And then I have
The
a
dad
purple
thing's
like
coming
Halloween
out.
tree, the small one that was in there.
Mhm.
That was mine. It's up in my room now. And for some reason, every time I turn it on and I come back in my room, it's turned off.
I can
That's why
I
I
can
did
just
it.
see this right now, Joseph coming
It
up.
might have an
Joseph's
automatic switch.
It's unplugged.
I don't unplug it, but
Joseph's going to walk in your room. Have you seen the fucking electric bill this month?
I haven't heard that in a few months. I think I'm okay.
I'm convinced that you could unplug everything in your house,
it was still
and it would still be
expensive.
at least
Expensive.
half of what you're paying now.
Yeah.
No,
I'm always
probably
bitching about
maybe-
lights and TVs and everything, but I feel like it doesn't do any good.
The water is never bad, is it?
It's always
Water's
bad.
stupid.
All bills are bad.
Fuck yeah, waters.
Water's stupid for like
Mm-hmm.
Sydney anymore.
It
like
is. It's
Jesus
fucking retarded.
Christ.
I think our bill last month was like $150. I'm like, that is fucking stupid.
I think anything like 100 or more is stupid.
Yeah,
for
for
water.
any bill, like gas, electric, or
I
or
mean,
water.
I can at least kind of see it with like your heating bill. You kind of
Yeah,
understand
gas
that.
goes up a little bit with your heating.
But like
bill.
electric, like what the fuck are you like on a? Are you paying the guy on the bike like
Are we
to keep
running
the
off
electric
of a
going? Like
fucking
what the fuck?
nuclear plant or what?
Auxiliary.
I
I
know
don't know.
I'm paying about $300 a month in electric, but that's my only utility I
I'm gonna
got.
say that's the only one you have.
right.
I don't have propane,
have gas
gas,
or
or water.
How
Yeah,
do you heat your home?
electric.
Electric furnace.
You can
I have a furnace.
gas
What's
tends
that?
gas
Though,
tends to
right?
be cheaper to heat a home, but you can have electric as your heat
Oh.
source.
We took out the baseboard heating and put an actual electric furnace in.
Baseboard
I should've
heaters are
known that.
fucking
We sell-
expensive.
Yeah,
Fuck
they
yeah.
are.
God damn, they will drive your electric bill through the roof.
Yeah.
Yeah, they suck. Anyway, welcome back. We're the Bonsai Movie
Hi.
Crew. Hey. This is
Howdy.
check out our socials down there and stuff. All that good shit. Anyway, I guess we should probably move on into it, huh?
Do whatever we
Get
want, I
into it.
guess.
Let's get into it, guys.
Let's get into
Kicking right off.
it. For some reason,
Yeah.
when you said kicking, and I thought you were gonna say kicking wing,
Kicking wing.
like on Joe Dirt.
All right. Creator profile. Who do you think it is,
Listening
Eric?
Are
bungholes.
we doing Ryan Gosling?
Huh?
Did we already do Ryan Gosling?
I'm pretty sure we did.
No,
Oh, we
Is
did
it
it?
Ryan
So then it's
Gosling?
Ryan Gosling.
It's Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
I was going to
that
say,
first.
I was going to say, I mean, if we haven't
Whoa,
done it,
that
then yeah,
first
it's
picture.
obviously.
I know, dude. He was
looks
such
like-
a pretty boy back in the day.
He looks like
Oof.
a Disney kid.
he actually.
He
I think
was-
the first thing
he
I ever
was a
saw him
Disney
in was
kid.
in Nickelodeon. He was on
Oh,
Are You
really?
Afraid of the Dark?
He was on Mickey Mouse Clubhouse
Yeah, I
Back
never
in the
watched
day.
that though, so I
Mhm.
don't.
with
but
Britney Spears and
yeah.
Justin Timberlake.
He was on the Say Cheese and Die episode of Goosebumps.
Yeah, I remember that.
He used to be such a douchey looking kid. Like he was like that kid that you cast to be like the villain in a kids movie. You know, that's what he looked like.
First thing I ever saw him in, he was a villain. The Murder by Numbers.
Yeah. I remember watching him in the Hercules, Young Hercules. Back in the
I never
day.
watched Young Hercules.
I didn't like it. It wasn't good.
No.
What's even funnier than that was not only did he play young Hercules, but he was also in an episode of Hercules as somebody completely different.
Isn't that wild when they do that shit?
Yeah,
I love watching like SVU and stuff like that. And then like you see a dude, and then like 4 episodes later he comes back and he's playing a completely different. It's like,
person. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
okay,
Like you couldn't get somebody else. Like I bet thousands of other actors out there that are starving for work, and you're gonna let this guy have.
Well, there's
He's
like
a dude playing another dude who plays another
Yeah.
dude.
there's actually a main cast member on SVU now that in an earlier season played like a pedophile, and now he's a main cast member. I cannot remember.
He's undercover. He's a pedophile.
No, I think he got killed. I think his character got killed in that
Oh.
episode, and then he comes back later as a main character, and I was
Right.
like, pretty sure I saw you as a
Die.
pedophile. And then I looked, and I'm like, yep. Well, welcome. Like, maybe he had a twin brother.
Maybe he faked his death so that way he could be part of the police force and then
Maybe.
do some shady shit there.
Some shady shit like
Yeah.
follow
Diddle-
children.
Yeah.
Dude, SVO's been on too long, in my opinion.
He's
Yes,
been
it has.
looking
Like,
at.
I mean, it was good. It was a good show.
There's a lot of shows that have just been on for too long. Like
Yeah.
if you're getting up around 15, 16 seasons, maybe
it's
think
time.
about ending it at some points. like It's Always Sunny is still going.
Mm-hmm.
And
But
I'm
I think
like-
their point is like the point of that show is to be the opposite of a sitcom.
Right. They don't really have like a driving storyline though, so it's
That
okay.
and the whole thing is that like when they started out, they wanted it to be like the anti-sitcom. So like they start out here, but they wanted their characters to never learn anything, never get better. In fact, they've gotten worse.
Way worse.
Yeah.
Well, that's like Supernatural. That show went on for way too long.
Yeah, I'd say like 10 seasons max, and they needed to cut out most of that angel.
Yeah,
and
they
demon
could have
shit.
cut out a lot of what they did. Like some of them seasons were just ridiculous. And like after they like went up against God and his sister, it's like
They went
what do you do after that? Like where do you go from there? Like I don't know. Anyway, like it's because like what is it, season 12? Where the men of letters come in and that's the villain
No,
for the
it's earlier
season?
than it's way earlier.
no, I
than
mean
that.
like that's the villain of that season.
Yeah, it's a
Oh yeah, because you're supposed
After
to think that
after
they're
they
good.
beat God, which I think is 11, God's
Something
sister.
Like that, yeah.
yeah.
Like after they beat her with love, and then they season 12 is like men of letters. Like you really, like so you're gonna forget all about like the fact that you guys fought like God's sister, and then you're gonna move into and you duped God into not destroying all of humanity, and then you're gonna move into season 12 with regular people or the main villain.
I think that also I heard that all of like the Supernatural guys are going to the boys now.
Well,
yeah, they are.
Jensen Ackles was already in it.
Yeah, I
as
know.
Soldier
I'm saying
Boy.
the other two are coming.
And
along
I
now.
already knew about Jared Padalecki joining up, but I didn't know Misha was going to be in there
Misha
too.
Collins.
So that's cool. My only issue with that is I don't know who the fuck Jared Padalecki's going to play
Yeah.
because he's got such a nice guy, pretty boy personality.
I can see him as not.
I can see him as a bad guy. He was Sam without a soul for a while there,
Yeah,
and he was
he was
pretty
really
fucking
good.
ruthless.
Yeah, but like no, not like the boys level.
No, I know.
No, I can
well,
see
no,
him
I can
doing
see.
that.
I can see him doing it. Yeah.
I don't know. I think they're.
Like,
I don't
in
think they're
real
going to
life-
make him. I don't
in
think they're
real
going to
life-
make him a bad guy.
In real life, he's a really nice person.
Oh yeah,
Like,
he's a very nice
he's
person.
like very kind, but like
Yeah.
I could see him. He's a good actor. I think he could do
Him
it.
and Misha Collins are. Misha
All three of
Collins
them
is
are.
really nice
All three of
too.
them are super nice.
Oh
people.
yeah,
He's-
Misha's way too.
He's
liberal
kind of out
for
there
me.
though.
Like
yeah.
yeah,
Have
like
you
I
seen his Instagram?
no,
I have. It's mainly
I prefer
about,
not to.
He's more of
I
a
want
hippie.
to.
about like supporting.
He's very
trees and
hippie-ish.
stuff.
Yeah, he's very.
Supporting what?
Yeah, it's very hippie-ish. Like
Well, more like a
supporting
yuppie,
trees, like
but-
donating to them. And
Oh, I
helping
can
that
handle
cause.
hippie-ish. I just
Yeah.
don't want to listen to a bunch of people whine about the
He's
same
very
shit.
hippie-ish.
I don't know. He seems all right. I don't think I'd like him as a person.
No, I think that's exactly right.
I mean, you
That's
get on my nerves,
exactly
like,
what
dude, shut
I
up.
feel like I'd be fine with like Jensen and Jared to a lesser degree, But then there's Misha, and they'd be like, "Oh, can Misha come?" And I'm like, "I guess." But
I think
don't
of
let him be a
all of them,
whiny
I think Jensen
bitch.
Ackles is the one that I'd be able to hang out with the
He's not
most.
gonna
That's what I'm
cry.
saying.
Because he's
yeah.
like the most down to earth one, and he's like, "Hey, let's have a drink
Yeah.
at noon."
Mhm.
I'm like, "All right, that's cool." He's like,
Yeah.
"Hey, let me show you my car."
Yeah.
Maybe
All right,
one
that's
of those
cool.
things is your friend gonna cry if I say the F word?
Yeah. I think the funniest thing I ever seen with Jensen Ackles was where he put a post up while he was still on Supernatural, and they were sharing set spaces with The Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm.
And what's his name was on The Walking Dead at this point, playing Negan, the guy that played their dad.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He took a picture of himself sitting on the back of the car
Oh yeah.
and had the bat, and he was like, "Look what I found, Dad." And
Yeah.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan responded to the post and said, "Son, I'm gonna need that back."
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Anyway, sorry about that. We veered off subject.
We do that a lot.
Never happens.
Go ahead, Madison. Read Ryan Gosling.
Okay.
Anyways, no.
Jesus Christ. He's got a life, you guys.
He does. He does have a life.
I'm not surprised by that in the least.
Yeah, unfortunately. Young life. Ryan Thomas Gosling was born on November 12th, 1980 in London, Canada. He is 35? He's only 35?
No.
45.
Wait, 45?
There you
I
go.
did
I
that.
say he's older than me.
I was thinking 90s. for some
Not old
reason.
enough for me to give a damn, but
He grew up in a working class Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints family in Cornwall, another city within Ontario. Ontario? Is that how you say it?
Mhm.
Okay. One of Sylvester Stallone's action movies proved to be an early influence on the future thespian?
thespian.
Okay.
It means actor.
Oh, okay. When I was in first grade, I watched First Blood, and I filled my Fisher-Price Houdini kit with steak knives and brought them to school and started throwing them at kids at recess. Gosling later told Maclean's magazine he was suspended for the dangerous reenactment, but he continued to be inspired by the movies he saw.
That's
You
hilarious.
Get a knife. You get a knife.
I
It's
feel
in my
like-
leg.
What'd you get for not sharing, Timmy?
Get off this way!
I counted to 10. It's my turn.
Bye.
I don't want to be it.
Mine.
Mickey Mouse Club cast member and Young Hercules star. One of Ryan Gosling's first roles was in the TV show Young Hercules when he was a teenager. Gosling caught his first big break in 1993 when he joined the cast of the all-new Mickey Mouse Club. Mickey
Are
Mouse
you
Club.
okay?
Yeah, I'm just thinking of the knife throwing now and like the KFC guy from fucking Waterboy.
Just like first graders. First graders falling out.
That was the
Oh,
real
fuck.
Colonel Sanders, wasn't it, in that movie?
No.
It wasn't?
No.
Oh, I thought someone told me that. How long ago did Colonel Sanders die? Stop laughing at me.
I'm laughing because you're dead.
I'm laughing because of that too.
What did he do?
God damn it.
His face was like, son of a bitch. Not again.
It's just sometimes,
Oh, I know. I get it.
It was your face.
Yeah.
Instantaneously. It
bitch.
wasn't even like there was like it was as soon as she said that. It was that.
A lot of times I just have no words.
It was that the colonel and his face just fell.
We're not supposed to talk
I'm
about
glad
it.
I'm not the only one that does that.
It's just-
Guys, we need to add his name to a list of people we shouldn't talk about because I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Colonel
Sorry.
Sanders or me?
Both.
It's kind of hard to do.
Say he's your dad for life. I
I'm
don't
You
know.
don't
here.
have to talk about him. You can talk to him, just not about him.
Oh, okay.
No more.
Okay.
That's gonna be hard, but all right, continue.
Okay, so let's talk about Ryan
Let's
Reynolds.
have a TED Talk.
Yeah.
Okay.
TED Talk about Ryan Reynolds.
A variety show for young people that starred child actors known as Mouseketeers. He sang, danced, and acted alongside such future stars as Britney Spears, Justin Timberlake, and Christina Aguilera. I got that name right.
Where are they all now? Sorry.
On drugs, in jail, and probably on drugs.
No, actually, Christina Aguilera is still very successful.
Yep.
She's on The Voice. I think.
I was
she's
gonna say
still
that's the
on
only
Voice.
thing I know she's doing.
She still
1 out of
sings.
3
Yeah.
Britney Spears, I believe,
is on drugs.
she's not on drugs.
was
She's
on
She's
just
a little nutty.
mentally fucked
Well,
up
I
right
mean,
now.
She's
she
unstable.
was on-
She had it
Justin
rough.
Timberlake might be in jail,
He is in jail.
mostly because he's always like because of his drunken,
He got a DUI.
because of his DUI thing. I don't think
Justin
he's still in
Timberlake
jail.
did?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got a DUI and he spent a night in jail.
Didn't know that.
And then
Yeah, everyone was making fun of him because that was right after the new Trolls movie came out.
Oops.
yeah,
Yeah.
of all the people from that series, Ryan Gosling is obviously the most successful at this point.
hmm
I mean, you can't say that the other ones aren't successful because they are very successful.
I'm not saying that they weren't. I'm just saying, like, where are they?
Right, yeah. They're not relevant right now, that's for sure.
I remember in middle school there was this thing going around on TikTok because I think it was around the time that it like had just came out and everything. Britney Spears was on there, and in the comments section, people would be like, "Wear pink in your next video if you need help."
I
and
remember all
stuff.
this, yeah.
Yeah,
Her
And
cry
she'd
for
wear-
help or
yeah.
whatever.
and she'd like wear that color in the next episode. It was great. I thought it was hilarious.
I also think she's an attention seeker. Don't get me wrong. I also believe that she was fucked
She's
over.
been through the ringer.
She's been through the ringer
yeah.
with her dad and her family. She had to literally cut her own sister off.
Like, if she came out of that normal, she should have, like, started some kind of retreat for people with severe trauma
Yeah.
to teach them the trick. Because
Yeah, they fucked her up pretty bad and used and abused her. And
Well, not to mention her ex-husband.
yeah.
What a train wreck.
Who's that?
The dancer,
The rapper guy?
Kevin
Kevin Federline.
Kevin Federline looked like a fucking
Fucking tool.
white trash nightmare.
But then again, I mean, Justin Timberlake also kind of did a bit of a toll on her too.
Oh yeah,
One of her first
Yeah,
relationships, and
Yep, I forgot.
they were
all
supposed to
about
be
that.
virgins.
Yeah.
But they weren't. She found out she was pregnant, and he was trying to convince her to have an abortion. And it's just,
Did she?
yeah,
I've never been a
she
fan.
did.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, like there was one interview. Like you can totally like, especially now, knowing what we know now. There was one interview she did with I think it was like Barbara Walters or something, and they were like, "You know that you really messed up Justin Timberlake."
Right. Yeah, fuck him.
I hope that she.
He's lucky Jessica Biel's still with his ass
No shit.
because she could do better.
I feel like some of those are arranged. Like they don't. You know what I mean? Like
Maybe.
some of them are like, you never seen them together, and then all of a sudden they're madly in love and married. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm not saying that they are not.
Yeah, right. It
I don't
just
really give a
seems
shit.
kind of sketchy.
Yeah,
kinda weird.
They don't seem like they belong together. I guess.
Right.
Royal blood.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Variety show for young people. Oh, wait. I went through puberty in a theme park. Gosling explained to Esquire magazine
He's seen a big booby chick, and he's like, "Oh, puberty."
I'm gonna go ahead and hit that.
I'm going to the water park now.
Hit that roller coaster. Yeah, the water park first.
about the show's about the show's process of filming at Walt Disney World in Florida. I'm grateful that place was a landscape to me. I had adventures every day. It was a
Beavis and Butthead. Boing.
He said unit.
good. After the show was canceled in 1994, Gosling went to work on other television series. He appeared in the teen comedy Breaker High from 1997 to 1998 before transitioning to a more mythical role. At age 17, Gosling moved to Los Angeles to star as the little character in the popular teen series Young Hercules.
It was popular. I guess I missed that.
I think I did too.
You're
I just
too busy
remember-
outside playing to not worry about.
I watched the fuck out of Hercules and Xena, and
Well, yeah,
I watched
those
Xena
two.
whenever we lived in the
I didn't even
city
know
all the
Young
time.
Hercules was a thing.
I knew about it. I
I
don't
knew
think
about
I've
it.
ever maybe watched maybe one or two episodes, but
I was
never
never-
cared for it.
I was never into either one, honestly. Like I'd seen
love
episodes of Xena.
I love the
here and
camp
there,
factor
but-
of both. They're just awesome.
Well,
No, I
the
get
first
that,
few
yeah.
seasons
Times I
on,
watched it.
YouTube.
times I watched this because Grandma was watching this stuff.
Yeah, Grandma liked that stuff.
Xena was the shit, dude. I like Hercules and stuff, but Xena was awesome because she straight beat ass.
Yes, she did.
She fucked people up with that like thing that she'd throw, that circle thing, and
Oh,
bouncing
yeah.
it off of people and shit. And she had her like fucking war cry and stuff that she used to do.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Can't.
that I love Lucy Lawless, man. She's a trip. She's awesome.
Dude, Ada fangirled over her for so long.
I don't
It
blame her.
wasn't even funny.
I don't
She is,
blame
though.
her.
She's fine.
I'm not denying
So is
that.
Gabriella, though. Gabriella was always my favorite.
I always had the hots for Gabriella growing up,
Mhm.
but then as I got older, I was like, I don't know why. Xena's right there. Like,
Yeah,
that's a woman, dude.
I was
Like,
gonna say I would do Lucy Lawless
yeah,
or
like,
Gabriella.
I'm like, that's a woman. You know what I mean? Like,
They're both still really pretty.
yeah, right.
They're like really old now.
Yeah, they're getting old.
Gabriella never really did anything for me.
There was always a thing that they were like lesbians
Xena,
or
though.
whatever.
Yeah.
I can
I'm
see
pretty
that.
sure they kissed
They did. Yeah.
at some of the end of the seasons.
Yeah, they were trying to push that whole lesbian factor, and it was just
It wasn't
it didn't
working.
sit well with me. I'm like, no, you can't do that now, man. It's too late for all that.
Early roles. Remember the Titans and the Notebook. For
Okay. Sorry.
I've never seen it.
I've still never
I've
seen
seen
it.
it, I've
I
seen it
just
one
know-
time
I know exactly why I'm not interested in watching it.
Because
Which
he's a
one's that?
stalker.
because he's a creepy
Well,
ass
first,
stalker.
it's not my type of movie. Never
Yep.
been a fan of
Yep.
romantic bullshit. And second of all, like
Anyone ever
everything
really-
that I've read about it, like people will like tell me about it. You know how people will explain something to you, and then you're like, "So this," and they're like, "No, no, no," and then they try to explain it again, and you're like, "So
So it's
still
still that.
this,"
Felt
and they're
like
like, "No,
that to
no,
me
no," and I'm
earlier.
like, "So he's a stalker, a creepy fucking stalker," and they're like, "No, no, no," I'm like, "Yeah."
I wouldn't say he's a stalker. He's not a stalker. I wouldn't say that.
No, he's obsessed, and that's still just
but
as
he
bad.
is super obsessed with this woman. But like he does play it in a way that isn't creepy, I suppose. It's just in a way that women find to be very attractive because
He never gave up.
he never gave up. He never creeped on her, never stalked her. He like waited on her. You know what I mean? That's all it was.
As a woman who had men in her life that would be that way, like I said no, politely, respectfully.
Right, but
I'm not
like
interested.
I don't know, you'd have to see it, I guess. The way it's all romanticized, obviously. But like the movie
Well, you can
itself is like
romanticize abusive relationships. They did it with Beauty and the Beast.
we ought to
I-
just add the Notebook to the box.
We probably should
Force her to watch it.
Yeah, just fucking do it, man. Just add it to the goddamn rolling list.
Son of a bitch.
I'm not
Fuck
gonna
it,
be
we'll
here
all
for it.
torture ourselves through it.
I'm not gonna be here for it.
Oh yeah, you will. We'll make sure of it.
We'll bring you back for it.
For like the whole last month that she's here. All right, these are the movies that we need to cover before she leaves.
We need to squeeze these in real quick. Jeez. Should I make a list of movies I need to see before I leave?
No. All right, go
Okay,
ahead.
good.
Keep going.
I'll make sure you guys forget about it. For his movie debut, Gosling had a supporting role in the sports drama Remember the Titans 2000,
That's a
starring
good one.
Denzel Washington.
Never seen it.
His first breakthrough
Never seen
came in 2001's The Believer.
That's a good movie.
What?
Remember the Titans.
Yeah, it is a good movie.
I think I've seen
I
that
believe
too.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
You've never seen it? It's really good.
We watched it.
I'm not even
Gym
a football
class.
guy, and I thought it was really good.
Yeah,
But
see, I'm
Denzel, dude.
I'm not a
Denzel's-
huge like sports movie person.
Neither am I.
So
I watched it whenever it came out and thought it was just really good. It's a good uplifting movie.
Yeah.
So then it's got
So is The Water
Will
Boy.
Patton in it, and Will Patton's awesome. So
Oh, I
So
don't
is The
disagree with
Water
that.
Boy, though.
yeah, but not like this. This is actually
More of a
like,
wholesome kind
more of a wholesome sort of.
Okay, I take it back. I
Underdog
don't
story.
like serious sports movies.
Yeah, I was
I
gonna
like
say.
Little Giants.
Yeah.
And like, you
Yeah, that's
know.
different, I guess, yeah.
The Sandlot.
The Sandlot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This goes back to like the segregation times and all that. So
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Like, kind of like The Blind Side. I
That-
watched that in school.
I'm not.
Nah.
I've never seen it,
I've never
but
seen it.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't necessarily. I guess you could throw it in the same kind
I
of
think
category.
I think I never like. The Blind Side I was interested in seeing until all this bad press came out from the guy, and I was like, okay, then I'm not going to give them my time, effort, money, none
Yeah,
of that.
that's really where I stood with it too. Like the guy came out and said, like, dude, I'm nothing like that.
Yeah, like that's
Yeah.
not
why
how
they
it went down at
They
all.
portrayed me to be like this super
Well, it was-
uneducated person.
Well, no, it was more so what I had heard was that he was pissed about how they portrayed the adoptive family. Like,
yeah, like they were
if-
like the greatest
like
people in the
they
world.
saved him or
Yeah.
something, and he's like, no, I was fine. They just helped me, but they made it seem like without them, he would have never.
He would have never made it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Sandra Bullock won awards for that shit. As long as the actors get paid.
ain't that the truth?
We sound like people who like, oh, they're on a movie podcast. Do they actually like movies and the people that are in them?
Hey, look, I love movies, but I hate the people who make them. Because,
Sometimes
well,
I do too.
I don't hate. I don't know them.
And the way
But
the way they're perceived isn't good.
Well, I don't hate them because I don't know them, but I hate the way our society puts them up on this fucking pedestal.
Yeah.
Like teachers don't deserve recognition, or ambulance drivers or police soldiers. Like we act like athletes and actors should get all the money and all the praise.
Yeah.
Bullshit. Like
They do
I
nothing
hate
more
the
than
way our-
entertain us. That's all they do.
Yeah, I hate the way our society.
Entertainment is more of a we put entertainment above all others,
We put
which
our
is
wants
wild.
before our needs.
Exactly, and that's insane. That's
Mm-hmm.
just, but that's America. I mean, that's how America is. Honestly, that's the world. Honestly,
I get. I understand that. I'm not like saying that. I'm saying it's wrong.
it
That's
is.
all.
It's wrong because we put distractions before what's most important, and that what's most important is what's going on in the world, and the people who help it run. We put people who entertain us before the people who.
Well, because I guarantee
You
you,
know.
if a real pandemic happens, that's gonna be the first thing that nobody's gonna give a shit about.
What actors in movies? Well, of course, yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying that, like, the priorities are not there, and it's more so the pedestal. Like, if something bad comes out about, like, okay, like, if it comes out that Tom Hanks was on that island fucking little kids, the world will implode.
Yeah. Oh man, that was like my childhood, man.
Uh-huh.
Like, no, what about the teacher that taught you, fourth grade math?
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
why you're a mathematician now or whatever. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, not Tom Hanks, really, because he was in Forrest Gump.
Exactly. That's my point. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, well,
People get way too pulled into these lives that they have nothing to do with.
right. Go ahead.
As long as they don't say anything bad, or Robin Williams doesn't get pulled in, I'll be all right.
Well, there's a few untouchables. There's Keanu Reeves and Robin Williams. I will admit there are some that I
Because those are
genuinely
legitimate people that you could look up to. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Those are good.
I mean, I hope so. But
kind-hearted
that's
people.
that's the weird thing, right? Like, because now there's so many people that have been like Bill Cosby and all these other ones that got caught,
Yeah.
and so like you don't know who's safe. Like, if something came out about Keanu Reeves, like I probably would legit like be upset,
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
and I don't like to be that way. I don't know.
I was upset whenever they said that
you know?
shit about Bill Cosby. I'm like, are you fucking serious? That's America's dad. Like,
My dad growing up was Kurt Russell. I'm sorry. I don't care about Bill Cosby that much.
Kurt
If something
Russell.
if something bad came out about Kurt Russell, I would feel like my dad.
I don't
You know,
think,
like
I
that
don't
was
think
my
anything
fictional
will come
dad
out
growing
bad about Kurt Russell.
I don't
really
either. No,
Mm-mm.
I love.
No,
Kurt
I'm
Russell.
saying though that he was like, like I watched Overboard and like, all of his action stuff, and like I don't know, like when he was in like Overboard,
He is
and
very
things like that,
dad-esque. Like, you
yeah.
could see him like being a great dad.
Yeah,
He's that guy that's gonna go out and like throw the ball.
it's
with
mostly
you.
Overboard because I watched that so much when I was a kid,
Yeah,
and so
that's
like
a good movie though.
he
Yes,
seemed
it
like
is.
my.
And that's also
dad.
where he met Goldie Hawn.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I love that movie.
I guess
So that's a
Andrew
good movie.
Garfield made her cry
why?
at the Oscars or whatever. Pretty much told her that you were the reason my mom was had so much joy in life, and looked up to that, and
Because of Goldie Hawn?
yeah, 'cause
Really?
she really
Yeah, Goldie Hawn when back in the day was the shit. She was.
yeah. You created so much good memories for my mom and stuff like that.
Oh.
That's awesome. I bet that made her day, dude.
Oh man, she
Like-
was so happy and like,
Oh.
yeah.
See, that's a humble person.
See, Goldie Hawn always reminded me of Mom.
Yeah.
Like in like
Really? Because she always
Overboard.
reminds me of my mom.
yeah, like
She
that's
looks
what I'm
like
saying.
my
That's what I'm
mom,
saying. They
though.
were
Like-
they were like my fictional mom and dad growing up.
Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn.
Yeah, so like if something came out about one or both of them, or like that they were just together for like public reasons, or
Right.
my entire reality would shatter.
Yeah, this is the thing is like
And
you
see, I'm
mentioned
talking
that,
so much
We
shit
know
and
about-
that's
she
not
does.
true,
She,
though. No,
I
it's
always
not
thought
true,
that
but-
Goldie Hawn looked like my mom. I'm like, you
Well,
guys
I
kind of
think
look
she
similar.
looked like everybody's like mom in the '80s, right? Like she always had like that blonde, like especially in Overboard. I remember thinking she looked a lot like my mom in Overboard when she was in like the poor area because she had like that
Yeah.
perm,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and she didn't do much with it other than just kind of let it hang, and she looked a lot like mom back then, in my opinion. Like
All right, we're getting off subject.
Yeah,
here.
sorry.
Come on, continue.
I'm gonna stop.
Madison's like, I'm gonna fucking kill all of you.
we always go off
Well,
subject.
he yells
Me
at
too.
me like I'm the one that does it.
So she just
We're
sits
off
back.
subject,
Continue.
Madison. Let's go.
Come on, continue.
Stay on task.
Quit fucking off.
His first breakthrough came in 2001.
No, Madison. I don't want to talk more about Goldie Hawn.
He played a Jewish neo-Nazi in the critically acclaimed movie, which won the Grand Jury Prize at the Sundance Film Festival.
Sundance.
Sure.
You said Sundance.
Uh-huh.
Quicker way to say it, Sundance.
Sundance.
However, it wasn't until 2004 in his starring turn in the romantic blockbuster The Notebook, opposite Rachel McAdams, that mainstream audiences sat up and took notice. In 2006, Gosling received raves for his role as the drug-addicted teacher Dan Dunn? Sure, in Half Nelson. The intense moving performance earned him a Best Actor Academy Award nomination. Always one to tackle. There was a 2 there. Always one to tackle diverse roles. Gosling played a young prosecutor in Fracture 2007 opposite Anthony Hopkins. He then went on to star as a shy, delusional man who forms a sincere attachment to a doll in the offbeat comedy Lars and the Real Girl 2007. For his performance, Gosling earned a Golden Globe nomination. As his career developed, Gosling emerged both as a serious actor with impressive range and as one of Hollywood's most popular sex symbols. He gave a strong performance alongside Michelle Williams in the 2010 indie drama Blue Valentine, which followed the downward spiral of a couple. The following year proved to be big for the actor. In 2011, Gosling appeared in 3 very different types of movies: a romantic comedy, an edgy thriller, and a political drama. In Crazy Stupid Love, he played a smooth ladies' man who tried to help a man going through a divorce
That was a good movie.
Dude, that movie was really good.
It was a good movie.
before falling head over heels for a young woman played by Emma Stone.
You know they had played couples in 3 different movies,
Mm-hmm. just get married already.
right?
Right. Moving on to a more action-oriented role, he then starred in Drive, about a stuntman who moonlights as a gateway driver. That fall, Gosling co-starred with George Clooney in the Ides of March, playing a smart and savvy press secretary to a politician. Continuing to challenge himself and hone his craft, Gosling starred with Ava Mendes
Mhm.
and Bradley Cooper in the crime drama The Place Beyond the Pines, which debuted at the 2012 Toronto International Film Festival. Reteaming with Stone, Gosling played a lawman out to fight organized crime figures like Mickey Cohen, played by Sean Penn in Gangster Squad.
It was a good movie.
The project had originally been set to debut in the fall of 2012, but after a gunman opened fire on a crowd inside a Colorado movie theater, the movie was delayed for revisions and pushed back to January 2013.
Yeah, he came in dressed up as the Joker, and fired at a bunch of people inside a movie theater. Because I don't know why. Because he's a fucking moron.
Did he kill
Yeah.
anybody?
I don't remember. I think there was a couple of people
Yeah,
killed.
I think so.
Yeah,
And-
there were people killed. I don't know how many.
Yeah.
Okay.
So But yeah, he ended up going to prison
With pink hair.
with pink hair. Yeah.
He wasn't all there, is what we're saying.
Nah,
Yeah.
wasn't
He was a
all
little
there.
fucked up.
Yeah.
Oscar nomination for La La Land. After starring in 2013 crime drama Only God Forgives, Gosling made his directional debut with 2014's Lost River. The movie, which he also wrote and produced, stars Christina Hendricks as a beleaguered single mom. What does beleaguered mean?
Beleaguered?
Yeah,
It's kind of like, I don't even know. I don't know how to
I can't
explain
even
it.
figure out how to define that
Yeah,
for
I
you.
don't know how to define it, honestly.
The following year, the actor
It's
co-starred
kind of a word that speaks for itself.
Yeah.
So
In a very difficult situation is how this says. But
yeah,
I don't even know if I feel like that. I
it's
guess
kind of a
it's-
decent. I guess it's a way of putting it. Yeah,
Yeah.
beleaguered, difficult.
Yeah,
I mean-
yeah.
Oh. The following year, the actor co-starred with Christina Bale, Steve Carell, and Brad Pitt.
Christian Bale,
What did I say?
Christina.
Christina.
Bale.
His
Did
sister.
I?
That was before his transition.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Whoops. Based on the non-fiction bestseller by Michael Lewis, the movie focused on the housing market bubble that fueled the 2008 financial collapse and a group of men who predicted the turmoil to come. The Big Short garnered multiple Golden Globe and Academy Award nominations. In 2016, Gosling teamed with Russell Crowe in the dark comedy The Nice Guys,
That movie was great.
It was a really good movie.
and also dove into the musical comedy realm with La La Land, co-starring Emma Stone. La La Land proved to be a massive hit, garnering a record-tying 14 Oscar nominations and winning 6. Gosling received his second nod for Best Actor, though he again went home empty-handed. What does that mean?
He didn't win.
That sucks. Blade Runner 2049. In 2017, there's the stroke.
Yeah.
It came in a little late this time.
It did.
Yeah. In 2017, after joining the ensemble cast for Terrence Malick's romantic drama Song to Song, Gosling returned to more mainstream fare with Blade Runner 2049, the sequel to the 1982 Harrison Ford vehicle. Gosling next starred as famed astronaut Neil Armstrong in 2018's First Man, about the NASA.
I mean, make it. It's cool. Whatever you think it is, we'll go with it. NASA.
Sounds
You
like
said it like I
water.
was from a foreign
It does. It sounds like a
country.
water.
NASA.
Yeah, give me a NASA.
Who the fuck orders Voss?
I didn't. I ordered a NASA.
About the NASA mission to send a man to the moon in the 1960s. After that, he linked with Chris Evans and AnadeArmas.
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 For the 2022 Netflix
She was
action
the girl that
thriller
was just in
The Gray
Blade
Man.
Runner.
Yeah, she was the.
She was the hot
Joy.
hologram chick.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Hot
So
chick.
hot.
Oh shit. You got good taste, man.
Yeah.
So she's like wearing the sweatpants outfit, like just and her hair's all.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She's giving off the I can have your children vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm like, I like
She's
that.
wifey material.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Playing Ken and Barbie. Gosling had a memorable role in 2023's highest-grossing movie, Barbie, based on the popular Mattel doll of the same name, starring Margot Robbie as a primary iteration of the titular
Literally, the only reason to watch that movie is
titular.
because of him.
character and directed
Both
by
of
Greta
them
Gerwig.
for me.
Oh, dude,
I love
he
Margot.
was
Yeah.
fucking great in that
They were
movie.
both great, but he was amazing.
Oh, yeah,
he
yeah.
was
Her,
amazing.
her character.
Her
just-
character
I
was
didn't like her
great.
character.
Yeah.
You've got that weird
She
thing
did
with
whine a
Margot,
lot.
don't you?
Huh?
She's got that weird thing about Margot.
No, I don't mind. Mm-mm. No, I
Who
think
was
she's
it then
beautiful.
that you thought was just too skinny?
Oh, there's a lot of people I feel like are too skinny.
Oh.
But
Was it Ariana Grande?
Yeah, no,
disgusting.
you told me about that. I
Yeah,
didn't know
she
that
is
she was
disgusting.
too.
She's
you,
like
you showed me a
she looks
picture of her. I'm like,
unhealthy.
holy
She needs
shit.
to get
Yeah.
her shit. You know,
I think she's got something going on though.
she definitely.
I was watching something where they said that Ariana Grande has. They believe that she's having health issues.
That's what I was gonna say. Like,
like a disorder of some kind because she is busy. She's a busy girl.
yeah, but you can eat.
Right, and I think that's what it comes down to. Is I think most days, like some of these people might forget to eat some days. You know, oh, shit, I didn't eat anything today. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I've done that a couple of times, but you do that often enough, your body's gonna not do what
She
you
looks
need it
just
to do.
disgustingly unhealthy, though. If she was my daughter, I'd be concerned. Like, you know, she's very tiny.
Mm-hmm.
I gained 5 pounds again. I keep going down to 209 and then I boost back up to 214. Or, oh my god, 114.
I lost like
Damn.
7 pounds between Friday and Saturday. Being sick.
Oh yeah, you were
Yeah,
some person.
that was-
I lose 7
I was
pounds.
about
every
to
time I
say
sit on the
Madison is
toilet.
hiding that weight well because I'm like only got like
I
50
wanted
pounds
to
on
die.
Where's it
her.
at? It's
14.
like in your feet.
Take them shoes off. I want to see how fat they are.
Not on camera, Karen. Jeez.
Takes
got
up the whole,
she's got
takes up the whole
elephantitis in her
fucking
feet.
bottom.
Huh?
Takes up the whole fucking bottom of the table.
Be like a bunch of dudes. Damn. Oh,
Little-
Jesus.
oh,
Look at
Jesus.
this.
Hey, little did you know.
What are those?
Little did you know we actually put this here so I had a more comfortable place to rest my foot. There's like a hole on this side. I just put my foot inside the side of this.
How big's the hole? Like,
And then there's just
I
like
can't
3
say.
cats in there that just constantly lick her toes.
Yeah, because I can't
Yeah.
clean it all
The
by myself.
sandpaper
you know?
feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, keep going.
I wear a size 8. Please don't bully me, Eric.
What?
bully me.
I wear a size 12s, almost 13s.
You're a guy.
I said don't bully me.
I'm not bullying you.
He's gonna bully me.
I'm average. I wear a 10.
I'm average.
So come on,
used-
let's go.
I used to wear an 8.
Barbie
Yeah.
Barbie featured an ensemble cast, including Gosling as Barbie's male counterpart, Ken. Gosling was responsible for one of the movie's most memorable sequences, singing the ballad "I'm Just Ken." I don't care. I still love the Pete Davidson recreation of that. I'm just Pete. Anywhere else I'd be a 3.
He's not wrong, though.
No.
He's not an attractive dude. I don't know what all them women all over Hollywood have
Apparently, he's
it
got
out
a
for
huge
him for.
cock, is what I.
Maybe.
Oh my god.
Maybe. He's
I just
hung.
like his sense of humor. I think he's hilarious.
He is
dude.
funny, and I think the reason why women flock to him is because he's funny, and I think he also has that like I don't give a shit attitude. You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
Okay.
Like that one
Okay.
one
Like
part
Chad.
where
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
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 the one part where Kim Kardashian walked up and said, "You want to take a shower together?" And he just like threw his phone and said, "Yep, let's go." I was like, "Yeah, that's about every guy's response. It should be at least."
To Kim
Kim,
Kardashian.
Kim Kardashian.
No, I'm saying like if
Oh.
their wife came up and said, "Hey, let's take
Oh.
a shower together," okay, throws everything down, goes.
Let's
That's
take
how
Kim
every guy
Kardashian.
should be.
You wanna
No,
Catch the
no,
gun and sip of her
No.
blades.
No.
no,
No.
no,
Good.
not my cup of tea.
Him participating in a dance battle with another version of the character played by Simu Liu.
Simu Liu. Yeah.
Simu Liu. Okay.
Yeah.
His performance was praised by critics, earning Gosling supporting actor nominations as both the Golden Globe and Academy Awards. Next actor is set to appear in The Fall Guy, an action comedy also starring Emily Blunt. I love that.
I love that. Like
I haven't
that.
seen it yet.
I love
It was
that
good.
Barbie was supposed to be a movie that was like supposed to represent women and women empowerment and things like that. And then he's like, "Yeah, I won all the awards for it, though." You know what I mean? Like he just comes out of nowhere, like, "Oh yeah, I'm getting all the praise for your movie."
That's hilarious.
Do you
It was
Yeah.
kind of funny.
Do you know what The Fall Guy was about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I have it to watch. I just
Oh.
haven't yet.
Oh, I've seen it. Yeah.
I've seen it. It's a
Do
good
you
movie.
know if he did all of his stunts in that?
He does a lot of them.
He does a
but I
lot
don't
of them,
know
but
if
he does
them
have a
all.
stunt double in the
Yeah.
movie.
Gotcha.
It's funny because he did a lot of press stuff with the stunt double from the movie.
Yeah.
So
I liked that movie. I thought
I'll
was
watch it
entertaining.
eventually.
it's
Yeah.
good.
That's good.
It's a little bit too long in the tooth. I think they could cut out some of the romantic stuff out of it.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, that was.
What's your problem with romantic stuff in movies? That
He doesn't
like,
have
it's just like every time
he
we talk
doesn't
about
have
movies,
enough-
Because it's distracting, and I think it's dumb. It takes away from the fact that
He
it's a
doesn't
fucking
have-
action
No,
movie.
he doesn't have enough love in his heart.
That's
so-
not
is that
true.
what it is?
Yes.
I just don't
And he
care
doesn't
about a
like it
blossoming
whenever it tries to
relationship in a
act.
fucking in a movie that's supposed to be just about action.
But it's not. It's based around the romance
It
thing.
doesn't have to be though.
But it was. It's
Yeah.
like saying Die Hard didn't have to be based around Christmas.
I should put a compilation.
It didn't.
That's sacrilege.
No, I don't want to hear it. Last time we argued about this, you said, but it was.
But it was, yeah. But it doesn't have to be.
But it was.
Whatever. Just keep
I'm
reading.
not arguing with you about Die Hard. It is a Christmas movie.
I agree.
Okay. I didn't
And this
say it
was a
wasn't.
romance movie. A romance action movie.
Sure, yeah, okay.
Okay. You and your buttons.
Are you happy or are you gonna fuck me up?
I am currently not happy, no.
So who you gonna fuck up?
Yeah.
She's like,
Oh my god, I know how to
Multiple
hit him with a
names.
car. Sorry.
Oh.
Just come on, read the
I'm
thing.
talking to Karen.
We're an hour in. Keep going.
Or 50 minutes in.
She ain't gonna survive tonight, I
Nope.
don't think.
It's over. This is the last one.
Since 2011, Gosling has been in a romantic relationship with actor Eva Mendes.
Eva.
Yeah, Ava.
Eva Mendes.
Eva.
I'm saying what you are.
Wally.
The pair starred together in The Place Beyond the Pines that year. Their official status has been the subject of speculation for years as the couple has closely guarded their relationship. In 2016, Us Weekly reported that Gosling and Ava were secretly wed earlier that year. More recently, Ava has seemingly confirmed the two are married during a November 2022 appearance on Channel 9's Today Show in Australia. She remarked, "Everyone is so welcoming here, and my husband, Ryan..."
Lucky
Sorry,
bitch.
Ryan
It's Ryan,
is here.
obviously.
We're having the best time. She also posted a picture to Instagram showing off de Gosling. What is that?
Showing off what? Would you speak English, please?
Listen, de Gosling. Wrist tattoo
Just gonna get
suggesting she had added
over.
the actor's surname to her own. The couple has 2 children together. In the summer of 2014, news broke that they were expecting their first child. Their daughter Esmeralda was born that September. And then in April 2016, Ava gave birth to the couple's second daughter named Amada. Sure. Before his long-term relationship with Ava, Gosling was...
You want it?
romantically linked.
Come on, read it or give it here.
No.
Then knock it off and read this
There's
shit.
only one chapter
Well,
left.
goddamn, how do you expect anybody to understand you if you're laughing through half the words?
Sorry, Gosling was romantically linked to other co-stars such as Sandra Bullock and Rachel McAdams. Said that right. Gosling
Sandra Bullock could be worth it.
has worked to promote several social causes, including AIDS research, poverty relief, and the humane treatment of animals. He likes to box and make furniture, a skill he picked up while making The Notebook. Gosling is also an accomplished jazz guitarist and singer who has a band called Dead Man's Bones.
Which I listen to frequently.
That's it.
It's a great band. You guys ever heard the band?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're awesome. I don't know that he's made anything recently, though. Like that
I
band.
haven't seen anything new.
Yeah, I think they just have the one album, as a matter of fact.
It's the only one I know of.
Pretty sure.
They got more than one. I don't have it.
I'm pretty sure they only have one album.
I like jazz.
And it came out forever ago.
What you guys' what is next? Favorite movies?
Yeah, favorite.
Yeah.
That's hard for him. He's got a lot of good shit.
Yeah, they only have one album that came out in 2009.
I would say for me, it would have to be. I don't do this very often, so don't give me any shit. I'm gonna say I have a draw. It's Murder by Numbers and Fracture. I like both of those movies very much. I really like the one he did with Russell Crowe, but as a comedy, I don't know. I mean, I really like that one too. But
I think for me, I really like The Nice Guys, and I love
The Nice Guys.
I loved him in Barbie. His role in Barbie was awesome. He was hilarious.
I can't support that movie.
Can't support that movie.
Mm-mm.
Man, I don't know. He's like his more comedic stuff is awesome.
I really liked La La Land.
I do too.
That was my favorite.
But movie wise, I think I'm gonna have to go with La La Land because I still love that movie. And
I'm just not a big musical.
I
mean,
Yeah,
like, it was
yeah.
good,
It
but
was a
musicals just aren't my
beautiful
favorite.
it was a well done, gorgeous movie, and him being in it makes it even better. Him and Emma Stone both. He was, I mean, but like if you want to go off a character though, I mean, my favorite character of his is probably either Ken or him in The Nice Guys. He was great in The Nice Guys, or not The Nice Guys. Well, yeah, he was great in The Nice Guys, but The Fall Guy.
That's why I picked Murder by Numbers, because, like, his character in that movie is chilling.
Yeah, how pretentious he is, and
Well, I mean, he's cold as shit.
yeah,
Like, it's really, I mean, for how young he was,
yeah.
and, like, for him to have that kind of depth already, like, that's why I picked it.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with La La Land. I love that movie. So that I love the jazz stuff and everything. I love jazz. I think
I do. I love
It's a
jazz,
very
too.
underappreciated genre of music.
Mhm.
I like Crazy Stupid Love.
It's also a
That
good
one's
movie.
really good.
That
yeah.
one's fucking hilarious.
But that movie isn't good because of him though.
No.
That movie's good because of Steve Carell.
Well, yeah, but him and Steve Carell both.
Yeah,
they-
yeah.
The way they portrayed the
Yeah, the way they
friendship
bounce
and
off of each
shit.
other.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I thought they did great together.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. All right. Anyway, moving on. Let's get Ryan out of here. We're done talking about him.
Can we leave it up there?
Dating my
Well, we
daughter.
could.
We could. I wouldn't mind. Karen, would you mind?
Nope.
Eric, would you mind?
Not even a little
What's
bit.
that?
He doesn't mind. Would you mind?
Yeah, I mind
Why?
because
Let's talk about the movie.
Still irrelevant.
Can't have him up on.
Oh, all right.
I
This
think
week
Kevin
we
Bacon was
watched
in it, maybe,
Blade Runner 2049. Karen, that plot synopsis.
30 years after the events of the first film, a new Blade Runner LAPD officer K unearths a long-buried secret that has the potential to plunge what's left of society into chaos. K's discovery leads him on a quest to find Rick Deckard, a former LAPD Blade Runner who has been missing for 30 years. 2 hours and 44 minutes rated R. Ryan Gosling as K. Harrison Ford as Deckard. AnadeArmas as Joy. I mean, fucking everybody else.
Yeah.
Jared Leto, Neander Wallace.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in this
there
movie.
is.
Mackenzie Davis plays Mariette. Sylvia Hooks as Love. Robin Wright, Lieutenant.
Yeah.
Dave Bautista. I mean, they're all fucking there.
Yeah, it's a pretty stacked cast. I feel like this cast with this movie was like, hey, we're going to make another Blade Runner, but people are like, I want it. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
no
Like,
shit.
It's a damn shame Batista didn't have a bigger role in this, but
oh, he was great, man.
He
For
did
what
a
little bit
great
of time he
job
had.
that he had.
This was the first time I'd ever seen Dave Bautista really act. I
Yeah,
was like, holy shit, this motherfucker can act. Like,
Yeah.
he's a good actor.
We're talking about Drax, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he's actually a good fucking actor. Because
Yeah.
the only thing we knew of him from before this was
wrestling.
well, wrestling and Drax
Guardians of
from
the
Guardians of the
Galaxy.
Galaxy.
I
And then
love
he
those
was-
movies.
He
I'm
was in
rewatching
this,
them.
and I was like, this dude can act, actually. Like, he's actually got some, like, emotional range to him. You know?
Yeah, he does.
100%.
I know. We watched.
You've
that
never
movie
seen
last
a-
night, and I started watching Guardians of the
Miracle?
Galaxy today. I love that
Miracle?
movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what he said. He's like, have you ever seen a
Oh,
Miracle?
yeah. Yeah, he was great. I love
No,
him.
you said you've never seen a Miracle. That's why he could do what he was
What
doing.
is that?
In 2049.
Yeah,
Oh,
That was one of the things he said to him, was like, you can only do this because you've never witnessed a miracle.
right. All right, well, would you recommend Madison?
yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna say yes and yes because I thought going into this time I was gonna be like, I don't like it as much, but I still love it just as much as the first time
won't
I
watch
watched it.
for
So
a while.
yeah,
Because it's such a long movie,
it's a long
but-
movie, and it's drug out in certain spots. But I'm
It
like,
could be shorter.
it could be a little bit shorter, but at the same time, like, but some of
Honestly, the length didn't bother
those,
me at all.
yeah. But one
I
thing
was
about
entertained the whole time.
yeah, I was like the visuals and everything, the music is like you
Hey,
can't
look,
like the
they
length
still
of the
made
movie
that
really
city
didn't bother
look
me.
amazing.
Yeah.
I mean,
It was awesome. Like the set
this was
designs,
one of those
everything.
rare circumstances that the sequel is better than the original.
Yeah.
And I can go to hell for saying that. I don't care what
And a lot of
anybody else
people would
thinks,
send you
but
to hell for saying that, but I agree with her. I think that this movie is...
I do not like the first one like I thought I did.
I don't
And then
even
I watched
remember-
it again and I'm like, this is boring. Deckard's a pansy unless it's, somebody he knows he can beat.
Yeah.
And when he was going after Roy Batty, he was the
Yeah.
one running.
I don't even
You know?
Roy Batty was the best part of that movie.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
Ryan though.
Huh?
He doesn't
I
back
don't
down
remember
for
the first
nobody.
one.
No,
Yeah,
that's what I'm
it's hard
saying.
to remember,
This
yeah.
Blade Runner, he didn't back down. I mean, he's obviously a replicant. They don't hide that with him, but like, he didn't back down. He didn't care. Like he was what you expect a Blade Runner to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. What about you?
Oh yeah.
You'd recommend?
Yeah.
All right. Well, it sounds like a pretty strong recommend. Let's go ahead and move on into it. You gonna read it?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not very long.
Oh, okay.
The one I found, there was either this one or a super long one. I was like, yeah.
We talk about it enough. I think we'll be
Yeah.
okay.
In 2049.
Just
That's
expect to get stopped a lot throughout this.
Okay.
I mean, because there's going to be probably a lot left out that we want to talk about.
Should we count? I'm gonna leave that up to you. In 2049, bioengineered humans known as replicants are slaves. Kay, a Nexus N replicant, works for the Los Angeles Police Department, LAPD, as a Blade Runner, an officer who hunts and kills rogue replicants. At a protein farm, he retires Sapper Morton and finds a box buried under a tree. The box contains the remains of a female replicant who died during a cesarean section?
Cesarean.
A C-section. Cesarean? A C-section, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Demonstrating that replicants can reproduce biologically. Previously, though,
She was the only one that
impossible.
could, though, because she was made to be able to do it. I think they even said that in the first movie, didn't they? That she was the first of her kind to be able to breed.
Mm-hmm.
K Superior Lieutenant Joshi.
It was supposed to be something for humans, for like humans that couldn't have kids.
Right. Yeah.
That was the experiment that they were running
Right.
off of.
Lieutenant, is her name Joshi?
I don't know.
Just say madam. That's what he always called her.
Okay. Fears that this could lead to a war between humans and replicants. She orders Kay to find and retire the replicant child to hide the truth. Kay visits the headquarters of the Wallace Corporation, the successor to the defunct Tyrell, Corporation, and the manufacturer of replicants.
So my issue with this, so at the beginning it says that they made that model of replicants illegal. That's why they're hunting them down, blah, blah, blah. And then this other guy came in, what was his name? Wallace came in and bought up what was left of Tyrell's corporation and started making a new model of replicants. I'm like, but then they're worried about a war between replicants and humans, and I'm like, why would you still make it okay for him to make replicants then?
They weren't worried until like she said, that they weren't worried until they found evidence that a child could be born of replicants.
I just don't understand why you would allow you essentially you're like replicants are illegal, but then they're gonna be like, but this guy over here can make replicants because he makes them different, I guess.
They were completely compliant.
Think
about it. Like, Kay, before all that stuff happened, what Kay does though for me is it shows that where there's life, there's a way, right?
Right.
Because he was one of them, and he was completely compliant. I mean, think about it. He's hunting his own people down, essentially, and he doesn't give a shit.
Right.
Like, he does not care. He's completely compliant to Wallace's orders. But, then through time, like, he starts to question these things, and it is because of that child. That was her concern. Her concern was that they were all compliant, they were all happy, Nobody had any problems. But if they find out that a baby can be born through a replicant, that changes everything. For the compliant ones and everything, that was the point.
Yeah. Okay. I guess I just find it to be a little...
Like, I read in trivia that one of the things that they had as an idea, I don't remember if they actually shot it or not, but was how Wallace got them to allow him to do it again, was he took a replicant in for his presentation, and when they were, fighting him on it, saying, like, you can't, we're done with this, blah, 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 he looked at the replicant that he brought with him, and he said, kill yourself. And it did. And that's how he won them over. Because they were completely compliant to what their masters would tell them to do.
Right. I don't know. It's just wild to me that they would outlaw them and then allow him, even if they are completely compliant, they still have brain, they have DNA and all those things, you know what I mean? So I don't know, whatever.
Well, it's the same questions that, like Ex Machina brought up.
Right, yeah.
Like, how about we just don't make human people robot
AI,
things?
anything like that.
Like, how about we just don't do that?
Right.
Because you're talking about soul versus no soul, life versus non-life. Like, how can you look at, like, a replicant like Gosling or Rachel or, Deckard? I don't care what anybody says. How can you look at them, at least in the first one, apparently, whatever. I guess they can age. But anyway, like, how can you look at them?
They still don't ever specify in this movie whether or not...
They did that on purpose because they didn't want to
Right. They didn't
contradict anything from the first one, but come on. Anyway. No, it's one of those things where, like, how could you look at something like that? And I say something very carefully because, like, how could you look at that thing and not see a human? Or not see... You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, the line is so fucking blurry. And it gets blurrier and blurrier and blurrier the more human-like you make them. Mm-hmm. So how about we just don't?
Yeah, I mean, if you destroyed a robot, that means just like something that looks like a robot.
Yeah, it's a machine.
You're not going to feel anything.
Yeah, but if something has a personality and you can speak to it and have a full-blown conversation with it, you're going to develop feelings for that thing.
You'll
you know what I mean?
eventually
but
develop emotions.
But it's a lot less pronounced when you're typing on a computer to an AI.
I understand that.
That's
but, like,
saying.
even a robot, like, say...
Like, let's not make them human-like, though, is what I'm saying.
Right, I guess.
like, okay, for
I
example...
don't know, I disagree.
If you're making robots to help you, then make a robot that's going to help you and not have a conversation.
I'm saying, like, even if you build a relationship with something that may be AI and can have a full conversation, has a personality, has opinion, and has feelings, you're going to grow...
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Even a computer-based thing, something you can't even physically see.
Absolutely, but the difference is that you can't touch that. It's not going to... It can't do anything to you, or... You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, those robots that they have that look like little dogs, right? Yeah. And, like, when they trip up or when somebody knocks them over, it's funny. But could you imagine if you had that same robot and they made it look like, I don't know, a golden retriever? It'd be a lot less funny.
Well, not even look like a golden retriever. I think it would be a lot less funny if the dog had real feelings, emotions, and moved like a real dog.
Yeah,
even
but
looking
you've
like
also
a robot.
got that visual, right? If you've seen somebody kick over something that looked like a golden retriever, if you knew it was a robot, you'd be like, "Come on, man! Like, why'd you do that?" But if you didn't know, you'd probably go after them. I think that what it comes
down to for me, though, is like, what's the difference between like a robot with the same kind of personality, movement, emotions as a real dog? What's the difference? There is no difference.
That's why I'm saying
we're all machines, really, essentially.
That's why I'm saying let's not not give them personality, and like if they are a task thing.
If they're there to do certain things or to help you, like say you make a robot that's supposed to come around help you out throughout
like Dorothy from Jetsons,
whatever. Yeah,
the robot.
But
Rosie.
Don't make her have like a personality or anything. Just make her to where she comes in, does what she's told to do, and go about her day.
See, Rosie does. She's a robot.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. Don't let them have.
Rosie was a character.
Yeah,
and if you could do it like that, then I could say but like. We won't be able to do it like that.
All right.
I don't. No. Let's just not. Let's just not If they're task-oriented things, then let's make them task-oriented. I don't want to have a conversation. Make it like my Roomba. It comes in, it fucking
does its
sweeps,
job,
and it mops,
and then it plants its ass back on that fucking
and the only
charger.
thing I got to do is fill up the water every once in a while. Like, that's, like, let's do that. Keep them task-oriented and don't give them personality and
Emotional.
yeah. I feel like you're blurring a line there that is dangerous.
Right.
That's it.
Ready?
Yeah.
Wallace staff members identify the deceased female from DNA archives as Rachel, an experimental replicant designed by Dr. Eldon Tyrell. Kay learns of Rachel's romantic ties with former Blade Runner Rick Deckard.
Dick Decker.
Yep. Double D.
Oh, jeez. Wallace Corporation CEO Neander Wallace wants to recover the secret to replicant reproduction to expand interstellar colonization.
He's about the most useless character in this whole movie.
Well, they had to put a face.
I know they had to put a face there, but like he does nothing. Nothing. He's in it for like a total of 5 minutes. He has 2 scenes, and that's it.
Yeah, I get that. I'm just saying, I don't think I hate to. I don't.
I feel like they were planning something bigger, maybe for him, like in
maybe
another movie. Or
I mean, Tyrell didn't have that big of a.
no, but they also didn't cast like a huge movie star or put a bunch of hype behind it either.
No, but I mean, regardless of who they cast, it's the same idea.
I get it, but I
He's
think
more.
I feel like within a almost 3 hour movie, the guy should have had more screen time.
I think that where they went wrong, in my opinion, was like that first time you meet him, right, and he's going to see this new one that he made, and then he just kills it for like no reason at all, and that's supposed to set him up as like this heartless, just I don't give a shit kind of guy.
Just setting him as that. It just shows that he has no empathy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. It set him up like he's going to be like this bigger part of things. You know, like, oh, that's the bad guy.
Yeah.
You know, when in reality,
I feel like they were setting him up for maybe a sequel.
Maybe they're still talking about sequels for this. Yeah. You know, but like,
don't get me wrong. I think Jared Leto did great.
He did.
I mean, he did great as the villain.
He's fine. But I mean, you know, how can he fuck up 5 minutes? You know,
right? Yeah.
Like, and I'm not disagreeing with you as far as like, but I feel like you'd be hard pressed to remove the character,
right?
Because you need that Tyrell shadow character in the background, and you need to put a face on it so that you can sort of do the same thing you did in the first one, where you know who's doing all of this. You know, I think the most pronounced thing that he was a part of was when they brought out Rachel.
Yeah.
You know, and he was trying to get him to do what he wanted.
Right.
So I guess that the only thing I feel like Wallace is doing in this movie is giving you that face for the corporation, and also letting you know that he doesn't have the kind of like, he's not as smart as Tyrell, right? Because he couldn't make them so that they can reproduce. And he's also like a petulant child when he doesn't get his way, right? Because I feel like the first one that he killed was his first shot at that, or what he really thought was going to work. And the reason he killed her is because he was pissed.
Right.
So what I got out of it is that you're no Tyrell. I mean, like, yeah, his ones obviously had problems, but obviously, like, you're acting like a little bitch when you can't get your way. So never saw Tyrell act like that.
Right. You know, Jared Leto walked around as a blind person.
He does, like, he's a method actor.
I know, but why?
Because then he can stay in character. Like, if this is the true test of an actor to me, and I'm not an actor, but to me, is it easier to just stay in character all the time while you're making a movie, or is it easier, or is it more of a testimony to your talent to step in and out of that character? Like, I'm in character. Cut. Hey, what's for lunch? You know what I mean? I
agree. Yeah, I don't. Some of you method actors go a little too extreme. Man.
I feel like method acting is just because you're not a very good actor. Like, and don't get me wrong,
I feel like method acting is like, look at me, I'm doing the best that anybody could ever do with this, and I want clout for it.
There's some method actors that are amazing at their craft, but I again beg the question: is it harder to be a method actor or one that can step in and out?
Right. Oh, keep going.
He sends his replicant enforcer Love to steal Rachel's remains and follow Kay to Rachel's child.
Dude, was she giving you Rachel vibes though? The first time
Oh,
you
100%.
met her?
That I think
They
that
had
was,
to be like an homage to her
that
or
was
something
she,
like that.
I think they were setting her up at the beginning of the movie to be like, it was supposed to be like a Deckard Rachel thing. That's
See,
what it felt like. It was
yeah,
like
but I
starting
think
out
that
to
it was
be.
more of an homage because she was definitely not Rachel.
Right. I think they were setting her up with that, and with that same kind of like him and with her and Ryan Gosling's character Kay, to be sort of the Deckard and Rachel thing. But they wanted to. I think that it was their way of like saying like that's what you think, and then they flip it on its head.
Yeah, because like I thought when you saw her face after he killed that first replicant, the one that couldn't procreate or whatever.
Yeah.
Like her face almost looked like she was disgusted with what he did.
Yeah.
Like her eyes.
Yeah, she did do kind of a flip thing. She was like disgusted by it, and then after
she spends
that,
the rest of the movie just doing what he wants.
yeah, she spends the rest of the movie being like this cold-hearted bitch, and I'm like, so, like, I was kind of confused by that. That was one problem that I did have with this movie was like, because at first you're like, I think that this woman has a little bit of empathy, and then you quickly realize afterwards that she has no empathy.
The only thing I gather or I can say about that is that one thing we've learned about replicants, right, is that they are more human than human, right? In these movies.
Right.
They're more human than any human. So what I would say about that is that you look at Love, who's only around Wallace at any given time, and so you get that sort of like battered woman thing going on, like mentally and everything. Like she's, either I do it or I'm going to get it worse, right? Or, after a time, like she doesn't feel anything anymore, like because eventually you shut that shit off or whatever, right? And then there's people that are a lot more easily swayed than others. So you could take any one of those variables and apply it to her, and it would work just as well. But I'm with you, Lo. At the beginning, I thought, like her and him are gonna like end up on this quest together, and it's gonna be the Rachel and Deckard thing all over again. But yeah, no,
I'm glad they didn't do that.
No,
though.
I am too. I like the flipping the script.
I like that they did that. They flipped it, and they were like, "We're not gonna do what most movies do, and just recreate the first movie."
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm glad they didn't do that.
Because at first I was like, seriously, and then when like it flipped, I was like, okay, I'm good now. I'm good.
At Morton's farm, Kay sees the date 6/10/21 carved into the tree trunk and recognizes it from a childhood memory of a wooden toy horse. Because replicants' memories are artificial, Kay's holographic AI girlfriend, Joy, believes this is evidence that Kay was born, not created. He searches...
Go ahead.
He searches LAPD records and discovers twins born on that date with identical DNA aside from the sex chromosome, but only the boy is listed as alive.
I do such a good job of like throwing you back and forth and like sending you down one trail only to be like, what I
was
like,
100% convinced that it was him.
Yeah, I know.
Because it seemed like it was just going to follow that linear path.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you weren't supposed to be surprised by anything.
Yeah.
Like, this was just the way the movie was going to play out.
So the first time I watched it, I thought the same thing too. And then by the end of it, it was a huge surprise. Like, holy shit.
And I'll be honest, I was a little surprised that it wasn't him. Or I was a little upset that it wasn't him. I wasn't, but I was.
Yeah.
Because you're led through this whole journey with him. You get to know him.
Yeah.
And you want him to have this grand future, or like to be a big part of this, and then to find out he's just a means to.
Because you're growing feelings for him as a character. You're like, man, I hope that this is all working out.
Like, don't get me wrong, I was fine with the ending, right? Like, I wouldn't change it, right?
And I think that's what a lot of people had a problem with this movie, was that like that wasn't the case at the end.
But I think that's perfect.
But I thought it was like, it's good because it subverts your expectation. It takes your expectations and throws them out the window at the end. Like, like this is what you wanted, but it's not what you're going to get. But it's still a good ending. It's still a happy ending.
For who?
Well, for some.
Not for the viewer.
Well, it is not for Kay, but
Yeah, like that's I think the problem that I would have if I had any problem, but I don't have a problem with that because sometimes the sadder ending or the not so sweet ending is the perfect ending.
Yeah.
The Mist, right? Like, that's a little different road, but when you're sitting there, you're like, oh, and then
But also, if
Shut
they're
it
building
off,
up
done.
and building up for a sequel of any kind, they could definitely continue that story, like easily with Kay and Deckard.
But he died.
They didn't say that he died. He didn't. Did you see him die?
I saw him die like he didn't drive. That's exactly what I was thinking of.
Yeah,
I was
that's
thinking
true,
of like,
yeah.
it's like in all of these movies where he doesn't get the girl, it's like heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Like gut-wrenchingly heartbreaking, right? Like, and it's not that he would get the girl in this, but like he wasn't like the chosen one, or
Yeah,
like,
he
you know what I'm
wasn't-
saying? Like
It wasn't his storyline. Wasn't.
yeah,
fulfilling.
it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't for him, and
Yeah.
you're just like, what? He's not.
Like this
How
character-
dare you? How
this-
dare
yeah.
you, sir? He is not just a means to an end. He is
this
not
character that we follow through the entire movie, and it wasn't even about him.
Yeah, we're getting a little ahead, but
Yeah.
I was the only. I felt like I might have been the only one that. And his girlfriend. Let's talk about that for a second.
Joy.
Yeah, I feel like he shouldn't have had a fake girlfriend. I could have been his girlfriend. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, who the hell has to know that he's a fucking replicant? I mean, is it like a sex offender? He has to let all his neighbors know that he's a replicant?
I don't
Because
know. I
letters
think
get
he
sent out.
doesn't care, but then like he's lonely.
Well, I'm saying
Like,
so
can-
his neighbors and everybody writes
Yeah.
Skinner on his door,
Yeah.
and they give him dirty looks because he's a replicant. How the fuck do they know that he's a replicant?
He probably doesn't make it.
Does he have to register as a
No,
a
I'm sure he
replicant?
doesn't care, so he doesn't make it like, he doesn't like deny it, or he doesn't. You know what I'm saying?
I guess, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know. It's
I
weird.
don't give a shit. Your boyfriend's a replicant? Damn right he is.
Yeah, but look at that ass.
Yeah.
That
Good as
motherfucker is
Did
fine.
you watch those SNL things I sent to you?
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of his ass,
Yeah, I'd seen him before.
fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I love
he's
it.
great.
She gets in there.
He's fucking hilarious.
I don't
dude.
think there's
He's
any ass.
Whenever
in
he,
my face.
whenever
like
whenever he actually goes
He
in
was
to be
dying
comedic,
laughing.
he's fucking hilarious.
that. Dude.
He couldn't keep a straight face.
Go ahead.
Mm-mm.
Kay tracks a child to an orphanage in ruined San Diego, but discovers the records from that year to be missing. Kay recognizes the orphanage from his memories and finds a toy horse where he remembers hiding it. Dr. Anna Stelline, replicant memory designer, confirms that the memory of the orphanage is real, leading Kay to conclude that he is Rachel's son.
Can we just say though, like in this future, like this is probably the only real like string I could pull at. So we've got flying cars, robots that can fool anyone to think they're real, several off-world missions or off-world things, which means that we've conquered interstellar travel.
Well,
right?
they're not really robots, though.
Okay, well, whatever AI, whatever
They're
you want
not
to call
AI.
it, whatever you want to
They're
call it.
made of flesh and bone.
No, I know, but like whatever you want to call it, right? You've got this artificial life.
Yeah, the
Right.
artificial people, essentially. Yeah.
You got the
artificial intelligence.
well, they're no, like they do have like
They do
blood
have
and
actual
bones and
intelligence.
stuff, but like
they
I'm
can
just
think for
saying,
themselves, but
you're talking about serious technological shifts, right?
Right.
Serious, like, so you've got all these things that have off-world, which means that we can travel intergalactically, right? All of that, but we still can't do anything for Bubble Boy syndrome. That's still a thing.
well, she had like an immune deficiency or something like that. But also, my issue is,
But we do genetic, what do you call it? Genetic, I don't want to say counseling, but like genetic reconstruction.
right.
They're working on that stuff now. Are we there yet? No, but like by then,
Right.
if you can travel off world, like you're going to the fucking grocery store.
My issue with it is, so we can go and terraform planets, but we can't take care of our own. Like,
No, why would we?
one girl says, "I've never seen a tree." Like, you've never seen a fucking tree? Where does the air come from?
Mhm.
Like, how is there any air on this planet? Like,
Well, I'm sure they're terraforming there at this point. But I'm just saying, like, you're talking about all of these technological advancements, but yet medically, we're still where we are now.
right.
Like, I don't know. Maybe I guess they're throwing their money at just tech, but that seems insane. Like,
Right.
whoever's in charge needs to be uncharged.
I will say that her little room where she gets to create memories and shit
Oh, yeah.
is fucking awesome.
It
Like,
was. It was.
I was
She
like,
was
wow, what
like,
a cool idea.
like, when you find out that it's her, you're not upset because she was so wholesome
And sweet, yeah.
and kind, and just, she had this big heart, you could just tell. And it's
Yeah.
like, well, I don't like that he didn't win, but like at the
But
same time, I'm
she
glad
kind
it's
of deserves
you.
it too.
Yeah, it's like, I'm glad it's you, but can we not? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Can you not be sweet like that?
Yeah. I wanted to hate you.
Stupid bitch.
Yeah.
I didn't mean that.
Yeah.
I mean, Angel.
Take it back.
Yeah. You bitch. No, you're not a bitch. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm taking it back.
Yeah.
At LAPD headquarters, Kay fails a post-traumatic baseline test, marking him as a rogue replicant. He lies to... What
Madam.
did we say, madam? He lies to Madam by implying he killed the replicant child. Madam gives Kay 48 hours to disappear. At Joy's request, Kay reluctantly transfers her to a mobile emitter so he cannot be tracked through her console memory files. He has the toy horse analyzed, revealing traces of radiation that lead him to the ruins of Las Vegas. He finds Deckard, who reveals that he is the father of Rachel's child and that he scrambled the birth records to protect the child's identity. Deckard left the child in the custody of the Replicant Freedom
Movement.
Gotcha.
Love kills Madam and tracks Kay to Las Vegas. She kidnaps Deckard, destroys Joy, and leaves Kay to die. Whew. That was like all summed into one sentence, but yeah, she did that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ooh, when she raised her boot up, I was like, oh, you whore.
Yeah.
You fucking whore.
Raise her boot up.
Yeah, to kill
stomp
Joy.
on that thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, no way she'll do it. Someone's gonna stop her, right? No one stopped her.
You
I
know,
hope you're satisfied with our product.
Yeah.
You add insult to injury, too, because he finds out he's not the one, right? And then he's, like, going through back to, like, his apartment or whatever, and he sees, like, the advertisement for Joy. And then you find out, like, I don't know.
And then she calls him Joe.
Yeah, and you're like,
yeah,
that was a lie,
they
too.
call everyone Joe.
Fuck this movie. Fuck it.
Yeah. And I think
Like,
that's
his
where
whole life.
that's where that was the beginning of him being like,
I don't matter.
I don't matter, but
This does.
this does. So if I don't matter, at least maybe I can do something that does matter.
Yeah, no, I get that.
So
It's still a fucking travesty.
Yeah. The Replicant Freedom Movement.
I could have done without that extra jab in the heart.
right,
is all
although
I'm saying.
seeing AnadeArmas naked was nice.
It sure, but I could have done, like, she could have just been silent. Don't talk.
But if you want to see her naked, just watch Knock Knock. She's naked in that too. So that's Keanu Reeves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The Replicant Freedom Movement rescues Kay when their leader, Frasier?
Frieza's in this?
She said her name was Frieza, and I said the same thing. I told Jeremy, I was like, that's not Frieza. Frieza's like white. He's got like a blue thing on his head.
Purple, actually.
Well, you know what I mean. Like
He's
was.
right here.
Yeah, there you go.
He's on
Such
my
a
arm.
nerd.
You're a fucking nerd. Shut up.
Frieza.
Well, takes one to know one.
Go ahead.
Now I done lost my place, y'all.
Y'all are just haters.
When their leader, Frieza, is it Frasier?
I think it's
Frieza. She said
Frieza.
Frieza when she said
Oh.
her name.
Oh. Tells him that she helped deliver Rachel's... My God. Rachel's child. And that her child was a girl. Kay understands that he is not Rachel's child. Deduces that Staline is her daughter and that the memory of the toy horse is hers. One she implanted amongst those of other replicants whose memories she designed. To prevent Deckard from leading Wallace to Staline or the Freedom Movement, Frieza asks Kay to kill Deckard for the greater good of all replicants. Love takes Deckard to Wallace Corporation headquarters to meet Wallace. Wallace offers Deckard a clone of Rachel in exchange for revealing what he knows. Deckard refuses, and the clone is killed. As Love transports Deckard to be tortured and interrogated off-world, Kay intercepts Love's shuttle and tries to rescue Deckard. He fights Love and manages to drown her, but he is mortally wounded. He stages Deckard's death to protect him from Wallace and the Replicant Freedom Movement before taking Deckard to Stalene's office and handing him her toy horse. As Kay lies motionless on the steps, looking up at the snowy sky, Deckard enters the building and meets his daughter for the first time. Wait, Kay died at the end?
Yeah.
I mean, they insinuate that he does. You don't actually see him die.
I did not catch that.
I like to
Was
think
he
he still
bleeding
lives on.
to death?
He's dead.
Was he bleeding to death or something?
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
bleeding out.
I didn't see
He
him.
bled out on the stairs. You watch him bleed out. He dies.
I was wondering why we were staring at him for so long.
In movies, when they do that, usually means the character's dead or dying.
I didn't see any blood. I just thought we were getting a really good look at Ryan Gosling.
She wasn't
fair.
looking at the blood. She was looking at
That's fair.
him.
That's fair.
Spread those legs.
I
a
can't
little bit
argue. I
more.
I can't argue with that fact at all.
So the set design for that whole end sequence right there with the snow and shit was awesome. I just couldn't help but notice that it was fake fucking snow. So, like the snow that was falling. Because you notice whenever he opens up his jacket and there's blood on his jacket, you can see the little spots of snow sitting in the blood. And it's not melting. It's just sitting. It's just soaking up the blood.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a split second, but I noticed like, God damn it, I hate fake snow, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah,
like-
because you can't make it melt. Like it
Exactly,
It
it doesn't
instantly
melt.
ruins
Yeah.
Better use some of
Yeah.
that weak styrofoam.
I don't know what they use anymore. They used to use asbestos.
It
Yeah,
it
that was
depends
really
on
bad.
it depends on what they're going for. Like if they're going for like legit or whatever, they usually use
They have snow machines that they can use.
they usually use the snow machines or whatever. But it depends on how much. Like in that scene where they wanted it to be nice and thick, I imagine they used. I mean, obviously they use the fake shit, but when they want it to be real thick like that, they usually use the fake shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody got anything you want to cover?
I think I pretty much said
Yeah,
everything
I
I,
think so.
had.
I liked
well,
it whenever Deckard was up next to that chick from the first movie, and he was like, her eyes were green. And he
Yeah.
just walked away.
Yeah, her
Yeah.
eyes were green.
the morphing scene was amazing
The what?
between when she brought in the prostitute.
yeah. It was
Oh,
really
yeah, that's-
cool.
That,
That-
was
that was
so
a trip.
fucking cool.
Yeah.
I found out how they did it was they had both of the actors do the scene separately, and then they combined, and that's why sometimes you see
One hand going
one
off
hand a
from the
little
other.
higher than the other. They didn't try to change it at all because they realized that they did at first. They were trying to like make everything completely on top of each other, but then they realized that that actually added to the effect that it doesn't always sync up.
Right.
So they literally just took the two and had them.
Which worked really well.
It did.
It looked
That was
really
really
good.
cool. I've never seen anything quite like that.
Ryan Gosling, what a lucky bastard.
Oh shit.
You
Yeah.
had to do that scene with two different women.
Mm-hmm.
Both absolutely gorgeous.
Dude,
Yeah.
I kind of like how she woke up. She's like, I don't need you anymore.
Yeah, I was like, damn.
Whoa.
And then you find out she was also a replicant.
Mhm.
So,
well, he knew that though because she shows
Yeah.
up. With the
oh,
other-
that's right.
the
They were
pleasure
all
models.
replicants.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. This movie. I mean, we can sit here and gloat on it all we want, but let's go ahead and rate it. How about that?
Let's roll this bitch.
Madison, what'd you think of Blade Runner 2049?
Howdy. It was cool. I liked it. It was 3 hours. And Karen's right, it didn't really feel like 3 hours, but she's also right whenever she said that some of the scenes are more drawn out.
I never said that. He did.
Yeah, it was Eric.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's right too. Yeah.
Okay, first time.
I think I fell asleep for like 2 minutes
My wife won't even tell me that.
during one of those scenes, but other than that, I thought it was a really good movie. I was also really comfortable though. You gotta stop letting me get comfortable when we watch movies. I don't know why he just sits there and watches me and then continues on with his day. So, anyways,
Who am I to fucking disrupt somebody's comfort?
Throw a shoe at her. Stop being so damn comfortable.
He used
Yeah.
to
Wake
throw
up!
water balls
Sit on the
bottles
floor.
at me whenever I was a kid.
Stand on one leg.
Yeah, he'd find whatever was closest to him and then throw it at me whenever I was a kid. So
You're still a kid.
yeah,
Yeah.
whenever I was a kid, like little kid, like Jackson kid.
And then she learned how to throw it back.
That was the day everything changed.
Wait, wasn't the
Damn,
last?
she caught on.
Wait, was it the last time that I threw it back at you? It hit you in the face.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that's the last time I hit you back, and you never threw it again. You guys had trained my dad without noticing.
Okay.
You know how like
You
a
fucked
dog
up
bites
now.
you, so you bite the dog back, and then the dog doesn't bite again. Dad
no.
knows all about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, my dogs, how I train them to stop biting is I bite them on the ear.
You need to go bite
They'll
Christmas.
bite, and they'll try to play bite, and I'll bite the tip of their ear. Not hard, but just enough so they know it's bad.
You know what I do? If like I got a puppy or whatever, and I'm playing with them, and they bite on my hand, I scream as loud as I can, and then they associate that with like, oh shit, I hurt them
Yeah.
or whatever. So like anytime
Yes, that's another good way of doing it.
I do, I scream like as loud as I can. I'm like, ow! And so
It's funny. I also
it works.
taught Jackson the same way. He used to have a problem with biting whenever he was really young,
Mhm.
like 2.
so you bit him.
So I bit
on the-
him.
Yeah.
So that he would
No,
stop
I know
biting.
that's something that you should do.
Yeah, so I
You gotta
bit
nip
him.
that shit in the bud.
Yeah, like it took a couple times, but he eventually learned. Like, all right, well, if I bite people, they bite me back.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, whoa.
Yeah. That went a direction.
I like this movie. I'm gonna go ahead and I'll give it a 7. I'll give it an extra half point since Ryan Gosling's in it. Yeah, it's cool.
For me, I think this movie's great. It was just as good as the first time I watched it. The set designs are amazing. I love the orangish and yellowish tones over a lot of the movie. The saturation, I love it whenever they get out into like those long views of like cities, and it's just nothing but smog, and like it looks
It looked very Japanese.
a little bit, yeah.
They had a lot of Japanese culture
Tokyo.
going on.
It did a little bit,
Tokyo,
yeah.
like.
Very so, and then I love the whole cyberpunky
Love cyberpunk.
look. It was less gritty and disgusting than the first movie, which I was kind of okay with. Like, I know that the first movie, that's one thing we gloated on a little bit, was that the world looked very lived in, and it looked dirty and grungy. This one, I appreciated that it wasn't, because it made the movie look, I don't know, I don't want to say artsy, but more like authentic, I suppose. It looked good.
They had 30 years to clean up, so
Yeah, right. They had replicants out there cleaning the streets.
yeah.
Not very well.
But the world still looks lived in, though, too. You know what I mean? And the set designs are amazing. The fucking music in this movie
Yeah.
gets me, man. I think that the whole score to this movie is amazing. I think it fits it well. It fits the tone of the movie. And the tone of the movie is just a movie that really just draws you in. It pulls you into the movie, and I love that about it. I love the acting. I love the subtleness of a lot of it and everything. So I just think it's a fantastic movie. Way better than the first one, in my opinion. I don't care if you fucking hate me for that or not.
I'll be with you. We'll be hated together.
I don't give a shit. Harrison Ford isn't my god, so and I like that Harrison Ford definitely takes a massive back seat in this movie. Like, a lot of people, I think, wanted more Harrison Ford in the movie, and I'm glad we didn't get it.
No, it's somebody else's story.
Exactly. It's somebody else's story. It's not about Deckard. It's about the aftermath of what happened with the first movie, yes, but it's about somebody else.
I just feel like the first movie was made to make this movie because the first movie just isn't as good.
Right. This movie is just all around. It's a good movie. There's not a lot here that I don't like about it. Everything about it looks good, lived in, sounds great, looks great. Set designs, acting is fantastic. There's nothing bad really to say about it. It's just an all around really good movie, and I think for that I'm going to give it an 8.5. because I honestly didn't think that I was going to come back to this movie thinking liking it as much as I did the first time, and because like you said, like I watched the first Blade Runner, and I loved it, and then I went back and watched it a second time, and I didn't care for it as much.
Yeah,
I was just like, I don't know why I liked it so much.
Yeah, pretty much.
Almost like you had to be in the mood for that movie. You know what I mean? Whereas with this movie, it was like it puts me in the mood. You know what I mean? To watch it.
Yeah, that's a good
It kind
point.
of put me in the mood.
I don't know if the first one feels like a mood movie to me. It was more so like.
Well, I'm just saying you have to be in the mood for that movie. That specific movie.
For me, it was more so like everything that I thought I liked about the first one wasn't actually accurate. Like, I was like, oh, Deckard's such a badass, but he really isn't.
No.
And like, this whole story, like the coolest thing about the first one, the most interesting part of the first one is Roy Batty.
Yeah.
And he's the bad guy, and you're not supposed to be rooting for him, but the whole time.
Yeah, the replicants are the most interesting part.
Yeah. And like, I'm sure that the same theme, right? The same theme is playing out in both movies. The replicants are more human than the humans. I understand that. But like, well, first let me get into what I liked. Pretty much everything you were talking about, the set designs, the music, the acting, the special effects, like with the morphing scene, like all of that was amazing. I loved the look of his car. It was very, exactly what you wanted to see. Exactly what you were expecting to see.
Yeah, it wasn't nothing fancy. It looked it looked tactical almost, like just necessary.
Right. It looked a lot like, what Deckard's cruiser looked like, except a more updated version, I liked the look of his apartment. I loved it was exactly what I would imagine like a replicant living in. Very minimal, don't need this, don't need that, right?
Yeah.
So there was a lot of things that I really, really loved. I didn't like the fact that Love left him alive. Like, why would she do that? Are you a dumbass? Like, she doesn't seem like the kind that would leave loose ends, but she did. And I understand that's a plot point, but it's annoying. Like, if she thought he was dead,
I feel
that'd
like
be one thing.
She left him alive because, not so much because he was a loose end, but because he was something that she could have come back to in case she needed him. You know what I mean? Like
I think she should have known better.
Right.
I mean, what was he doing there? He wasn't being a Blade Runner.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, she's dumb.
Maybe she has a soft spot for replicants.
No,
you saw the look on her face.
I don't think so.
Well, you saw the look on her face whenever he killed the one replicant.
I think that, well, you might be right. That might be her motivation.
Because she didn't kill any other replicants, she just killed people.
That's true.
So
I still think it was stupid for her. Yeah, and Joy. Yeah. I was a little disappointed. I'll be honest. I one of the things that I loved in the first one was the red flare in the eye when they were replicant.
Yeah.
I loved that, and they didn't have it in this.
They didn't do that in this, and that did disappoint me a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will be real clear before I get into this last point. I love this movie. I loved everything about it. But probably the biggest drawback for me, because it was distracting. In the first movie...
It was Ryan Gosling's face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I kept looking at the ball. No. Anyway, no, like, we talked about in the first one...
She was upset he had a coat on. She couldn't see his ass.
I was like, damn, show it off, baby.
Why is he even wearing clothes at all?
Right, I agree. See, we're all on the same page.
I was upset that I couldn't see his arms.
I can understand. No, like, in the first one we talked about Deckard and Rachel and how strange their relationship seemed to be.
Yeah.
So the first time you meet them, there doesn't seem to be any spark at all.
Oh my
in the
God,
first
it's all
movie.
coming back. He was the abusive weirdo.
And then there's the sex scene, which seemed more like a rape scene.
Yeah.
The only time that those two seemed like they were in love at all or cared about each other at all was when they were escaping in the elevator for
At the
5 seconds.
very end.
So then we're in this movie confronted with this great love story that was Deckard and Rachel.
How often did he beat her?
Yeah, so like I'm not trying to say that like obviously you have to play up that love story in order for this movie to work. I get that 100%, but it's distracting as fuck for somebody like me who remembers in the first movie, no, he was abusive. He was not nice to her.
Yeah, he was not nice.
Like, and how she fell for him, I understand that she ran away with him because she needed to get away. Not necessarily that they were in love, Things
But that
change.
he was her way out.
Yeah, things change, but like there was nothing in the first movie that screamed to me that they were meant for each other and that they were in love and I know that was the overall story that they were going for in the first movie. I understand that, but they didn't do a good job of conveying it. So when you are confronted with this grand love story in the second one, it's distracting to someone like me. So I'm gonna give it an 8. I was gonna go 8.5, but that's
fair,
that's
though.
insane.
That's still
to
very
me.
fair, though.
Yeah, it's insane to me that I know that they had to.
Yeah.
I know that it is totally an evil that had to be there, but it's fucking distracting.
It's very distracting. You're not wrong about that at all. Like, how did the next, however many years of their life go together? How did that work for them? Like, was he abusive? Like, did they get along well?
No, I think that he loved her, right, based on the way he's acting in this movie, though. Because, when they bring out the Rachel, like, he's like, really, until he realizes she has the wrong color eyes. So, like, I do believe that he loved her. But I only believe that because of this movie.
Right.
Not because of the first one. And we're all viewers to the first one, and that's all we have to go by. And so for them to be like, oh, they were in love, it's this grand love story, it's like...
Was it, though?
That's not the kind of love I know of, but
they did
you do
not
you.
have a cute meet cute.
No.
Maybe
and that one sex scene, we were all in agreement.
Yeah,
It was
we
more
were
like a
all
rape scene. It was more like, was she into that at all?
We were all looking at it
Was
like...
it consensual? I don't think so.
Like, if you have to ask,
Yeah.
there's a problem.
Yeah.
That's me, though. I'm at an 8.
All right, Eric,
I
what do you
couldn't go
think?
lower than that.
So I really liked, it was visually stunning. It's not much to say bad about this movie. It really isn't. Not in my opinion. I really enjoyed the story.
No, because you could even say, Jared Leto sucked dick. He was actually great.
Yeah, he did.
Well,
good
you can't
villain
fuck up
for-
5 minutes.
Yeah. But I mean, he did, that first scene he was in was amazing. He did such a good job in that first scene.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
like you said, what do you have to rehearse that? Like that whole 5-minute scene?
I mean, I'm sure he was done in 2 weeks.
Yeah, he didn't have much going on.
Yeah. So, I mean, really, honestly, I really can't say too much bad about this movie. I mean, visually great. Score was great. I'm at an 8 myself with this movie. So,
Okay.
All right, so that's a
What does your hat
7.875, so 7.9.
huh?
What does your hat say?
You must be taller than this to ride.
Must. I read the U and the B taller, but I couldn't read
Gross.
the must part.
All right.
Yeah.
Karen,
I like
you're Rotten Tomatoes.
It's a
I'm
nice
up.
hat.
Okay,
nice
so what do you think the professionals had to say?
Oh man,
86.
86 is a good guess. 75 is a good guess. I'm gonna go in the middle and say 80.
Eric's gonna take it. It's an 88.
Damn.
I was close. I was close. Should have one up.
I should have.
Fuck you.
I
Fuck you,
thought it'd be
86. I'll
around
go
the 80
87.
range,
75.
For audience.
Audience, I don't think they're gonna like it as much
I'm
because
still
people are so they suck the first movie's dick so hard.
80.
What'd you say?
75.
I'm gonna go 70.
You said 80. Eric's gonna take it again. It is also 88%.
Fuck you, Eric. Cheater.
Critics' consensus: visually stunning and narratively satisfying, Blade Runner 2049 deepens and expands its predecessor's story while standing as an impressive filmmaking achievement in its own right.
And where's the sequel at for this? Where's the next one?
They've just talked about what a sequel could be.
2089.
They haven't given up on the idea.
I think that's something that Ridley Scott would have to be like, all right, we're ready to move forward with something like that. So
Well, he didn't have much to do with this one other than
I'm sure he produced it though. He's not gonna let them just ride with his shit.
Yeah, no, he did produce it, but he was busy with Alien Covenant,
Right.
so
Which
he didn't really have much to do with
wasn't as good as this.
it. He said he regretted that.
Did he?
Yeah. Okay, so first one, 1 star by Illy P. Endless, slow-paced CGI of predictable post-apocalyptic landscapes turns this one-paragraph narrative into a 3-hour torture, without a hint of good dialogue, worthy action sequence, or, God forbid, a single joke. 2049 takes itself way too seriously.
Did you say diddly pee?
Lily P. Or Illy P.
Oh. I love you, P.
I didn't know that this was a comedy.
The one that got me was without a hint of good dialogue. That's what makes this movie good. Everything is conveyed through their facial expressions, mostly their eyes.
You know,
I mean,
their story beats, all these things. You don't need a lot of dialogue to understand what's going on.
I don't want it to be heavy with dialogue.
Yeah.
It made it so much better to not be.
Yeah, I agree. A lot of the subtle, the silence and things like that, the subtleness of the movie is what honestly makes the movie so great.
I agree. Anthony M. 1.5 stars. Bloated and unnecessary. One of those sequels that makes one realize how good the original movie was. Fuck off. So perhaps not a complete waste of my time after all. YY. 1 star. Long, slow, dreary sets, frequent violence, expository monologues, and little dialogue. The protagonists are difficult to sympathize with. Frequent violence. What? Shut up. Arnold.
What? Shut up.
Okay, so long, slow, dreary sets, frequent violence. I didn't see a lot of frequent violence, if I'm being honest.
Here and there, but
how
not
can
like
you have a monologue and little dialogue?
right.
That's
The violence isn't like gratuitous, though. You know what I mean? It's there when it's necessary. That's about it.
Yeah, don't. Yeah,
Like
I
he
said,
like Kay could have like ripped the head off of that girl's body in the fucking car. Instead, he just drowns her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like instead of like going complete gore on it, like because it's not necessary. Why would he need to?
Yeah, he can still achieve the whole.
Achieve the effect without the gore.
Katie 8-6
KD 786 something, I think, or I don't remember.
Katie.
Well, no, he would be NK because he was a Nexus. So NKP. No, P because he'd be police officer, so it'd be PKP. NPKP. Right. So that's Philip K. Dick. That was the guy who wrote the novel.
Philip K. Dick, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they gave him his initials.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yep.
Did you not know that?
I did not know that. I just put it together.
You put it together for us all to know.
It would be P for policeman, K, D, and then his serial, PKD.
PKD. Yeah, hey, that's pretty cool though. It works out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Arnold H. 1 star. Compared to the original, this thing is slow, dull, pretentious. What a disappointment. This one's pretentious? Okay.
Right. I hate it when people refer to a movie, any movie in general, as pretentious. A movie is what is created.
Well, there are movies out there that are fucking pretentious.
Maybe, but only if you take them that way. But this movie does not come off to be pretentious at all. You want to talk about pretentious? I mean,
yeah, I guess you're right about that because that's a characteristic of people.
Yeah, I mean, okay. So I heard this recently. A movie is an art piece. You take the movie as you would any other piece of art. A piece of art isn't complete until it's viewed by the audience.
That's true.
It's not complete till it's viewed. That way, the audience is able to interpret it as they want to.
Yeah,
it's everybody's opinion based. It's an opinion based thing on whether it's good or not. You might think that, fucking, I don't know, Napoleon Dynamite is an Oscar worthy movie. Where I'm like, that movie's a piece of shit. Or
the food.
Really
yeah,
funny though.
I mean, just anything. You might think Velocipaster is the greatest movie ever made. It's a fucking work of art.
It's certainly,
and I'm over here like that movie
made.
Is a fucking turd. You know what I mean? Like
you're just mad because I never got back to the VFX on it.
You know, but some people might think that's part of the craft. You know,
it is.
But like I said, everything is opinion based. So to call something pretentious is your goddamn opinion, and that's
well. I think
it's not a fair assessment.
That way, I feel like it's a weird way to describe a movie. How can a movie itself be pretentious? The director could be pretentious, and therefore created a product that comes off like hoity-toity.
But to say that this director is pretentious when he really didn't have much of a name to begin with. Now, if you come at me and say, Ridley Scott's just a pretentious prick that think that is, whatever. Like, I'm like, okay, yeah, he might be a little bit, but he's a great fucking director too.
Hey,
You know what I
some
mean?
people have earned that pretentiousness. As well,
Yeah, exactly. Whereas this guy is not pretentious because he's not he's not on the level of Spielberg or anything like that. He's just another director in Hollywood.
On trivia, there was so much good trivia for this that I didn't even include because it would have been 700 hours long.
Right.
But like one of the things that he said about this was after he sent in the final cut and then he went back to watch it, he looked at like his producer and was like, "We are doomed. We just made a 3-hour art house movie." And I was like, I don't agree with that. I mean, I can see where he comes off.
I can see where he gets that idea.
Art house movies always come off to me as like they think it's pretentious.
They think that their movie is above and transcends your viewing experience, and it's not entertainment. It's a
Those
viewing
are the
pleasure.
Movies that you're
you
like,
know what I mean?
I didn't fucking get it.
Like,
There
what?
was,
I don't get it. Yeah.
In a microwave for 3 minutes. And
yeah.
And then you've got that one guy going, "Oh, you didn't get it.
You didn't
Explain
get
it to me, then, stupid."
That is pretentious.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So, my notes next to this one say "fucking what." Dan G. 2.5 stars. The movie started out strong. I was really enjoying it. Unfortunately, as the plot progressed, feminism and general girl bossing took its toll on the movie. It's a shame. This could have been great. Where was the feminine girl boss? Anybody? I'm not the only one.
No, a chick was killed.
Okay.
I don't understand. What the fuck?
They're not
Girl
even chicks
bossing.
either.
I didn't get it either. He had a girl boss for like 5 seconds before she got killed. Like
And then the woman, but she wasn't the boss. She was like a lackey that.
I got nothing as far as that went.
What, there's not allowed to be women cops because she was a cop, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see an issue with that. Was she trying to fuck him in the apartment? By the way,
Dude, I would have been.
I'm just saying, like,
for myself.
It seemed like she was trying.
it seemed like she's like, so about this, like she wanted to finish can I finish this bottle? And I'm thinking, like, is she trying to fuck this dude?
I would have.
I'm like, I don't blame you. You know?
Yeah, I mean,
if I was there, I'd try to fuck him too.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm like, I didn't get it. I was like,
I would have been remiss if I didn't try.
I didn't know if that was like just a little subtle thing that they were like, because it was what'd she say exactly about finishing off the bottle? I think
it was supposed to be more of like a bonding moment between the two of them, like for her, sort of showing her like her softer side. Like, because she's all up to this point, fuck replicants, kill them all, blah, blah. And so, like, you kind of see the softer side of her coming out towards him. And I think it was just supposed to kind of set you up for what happens later where she lets him go.
Yeah.
Because I think that if that scene had taken place without us seeing that scene...
Well, but then Joy comes in and says something that she was like, I think she likes you, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, but I think it's more like she's teasing him a little bit. And I think, we're reading into it, but I think it was only there just to set up that there's more to their relationship than just she hates replicants and he does what she says.
Right.
Because without that, later when she lets him go and then dies not telling Love where he is, it wouldn't have made any sense to us. We'd been like, why would she give a shit?
Right.
Right.
George R., 2 stars. It's a sin to adapt a premise based on a PKD novel with so little depth. Pure eye candy.
Joseph, I'm not going to lie. There was a lot of eye candy in the movie.
Yeah.
Like, visually.
But there was a lot of depth, too.
Right, yeah, of course.
So,
he's like, yeah, whatever.
No, there was. There was a lot of depth in the movie, but, like, there was a lot of eye candy. The movie itself looks fucking great.
I agree.
Yeah.
Joseph H., 0.5 star. Absolutely awful. 2+ hours you'll never get back. There had to be one, right?
Had to be one.
Doesn't tell you anything about why. Just
yeah. That movie sucked. Why? It sucked.
Movie was complete trash.
This one cracked me up because what have we heard so far? Not enough dialogue. Not enough dialogue. Not enough.
Too much dialogue.
JM, 0.5 star. So like 20 O's. Much talking. Was bored as hell over an hour into it. How did this get such good reviews? Bara, they've got a bunch of symbols in their name. My note says, I feel sorry for anyone emotionally involved with this person. 1.5 stars. Overrated. This is barely any story, which I am fine with, but there's nothing to replace it either. It's mostly just aesthetic, and I genuinely do not understand Ryan Gosling's contribution to the film. I'm sure if someone else was the lead, the reviews would be way lower, but the movie would stay exactly the same. The acting is just empty faces without any mimics or emotion. I do understand that's the point. I'm just calling out that the lead actor in this film could have been anybody else when very little skill for it was required.
But it wasn't
I
anybody
100%
else.
disagree with that assessment. Because there
Fuck
was
your
so
own
much
face.
emotion in their eyes and in their faces. Like, were you watching the same fucking movie I was?
Yeah, I know that Ryan Gosling's really good at playing these very stoic, silent types, and he's definitely made a career out of it.
Like, I just imagine him as
But
a
he's
dad that
also
doesn't
a
have to
really
yell.
good fucking actor,
Yeah.
and he knows when to step up to the plate, and he knows what to do, what his job calls for.
Yeah.
And I think that he did a great job in this movie, and he does it. He does it in every movie, like in Drive and things like that. Like, yeah, he doesn't have a lot to say, but he's great at playing those silent roles. You know what I mean? Like, he's really good at that.
Yeah.
So,
this last one, Nathan M., 3 stars. I wanted to give it 4 stars, but Jared Leto had to be involved.
goddamn.
You really don't like Jared
Is that
Leto.
it? Yep. All right. Oh, fuck, which one? This one.
Sweet Ass Trivia with Karen.
It's still me.
That's still you.
As seen in the prequel short film 2048, Nowhere to Run, the events of this film are triggered by Sapper's kindness to a little girl. When the girl and her mother are mugged, Sapper is the only one to come to their aid. He kills the attackers, and it becomes apparent from his strength and endurance that he is a replicant. During the fray, he drops a receipt that reveals his address. An intelligent agent on the street finds this and calls it in, thereby kicking off the plot, where Agent K goes to retire Sapper and learns about his participation in protecting a replicant baby girl back in 2019. In a sense, Sapper's selfless intervention ensures another little girl's survival, but becomes his own demise, repeating the theme where replicants are more human than human. To make Joy appear more artificial, editor Joe Walker experimented by freezing her image for 9 frames just before she responds to a question. That way it looked like her program paused for a split second, as if her processor was briefly occupied in coming up with an answer. However, it felt corny, and it was decided that her artificiality was already convincingly communicated through her fast costume changes and transparency. Producer Ridley Scott and director Dennis Villeneuve, I don't know how to say his last name. That's it. Cited this movie's length and slow pacing as the main reasons for its disappointing box office results. Scott felt that the movie was at least 30 minutes too long, although he admitted that he was partially to blame since he provided input for the screenplay. The director said that while still proud of this movie, he realized afterwards that he had made the most expensive art house movie in cinema history and knew it would be a huge financial risk. He admitted that the running time and the marketing strategy that gave away minimal plot elements may have scared away audiences, especially less familiar with Blade Runner. The first letter...
I would say that an 88% across the board from critics and audience is a pretty good win.
I would agree.
Yeah.
So,
But they're talking about just the box office. They didn't do so great.
well, I know. I'm just saying, like, review-wise.
Yeah. The first letter of the names of each of the wooden animals that Deckard carved in this movie: rhino, antelope, cat, horse, elephant, lion, spell Rachel. At the orphanage, only the girls have long hair, all the boys have shaved heads or very close cropped hair. This is a hint that Kay's memory originally belonged to a girl. I even, asked that, why is everybody else's head shaved but his? When he had the memory.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't really think about it too hard. Hampton Fancher was approached to write a script for this movie. He agreed to it, but in a novella format mixed with a screenplay. He wrote the 110-page novella script and then told them to leave him alone. According to Michael Green, who wrote the actual shooting draft, the script was called Acid Zoo and featured an ending in which Rick Deckard died. David Bowie was director Dennis Villeneuve's, that guy, first choice for the role of Neander Wallace, but he died 6 months before the start of shooting. Jared Leto was cast instead because of his similar rock star vibes, since he fronts the rock band 30 Seconds to Mars. As seen in the movie, the baseline...
I got no rock star vibes from that dude at all. You know what I mean? Like, that is not a rock star vibe kind of dude.
He thinks he is.
I get what he's saying by the, I have
larger
all these,
than life.
I have all these, great, profound thoughts. You know what I mean? And that's actually Jared Leto, in my opinion. That is Jared Leto.
As seen in this movie, the baseline test that Kay must recite back was Ryan Gosling's idea. He employed an acting technique called dropping in, which induced a trance-like state and hypnotic effect on his performance. The giant joy in the hologram advertisement was supposed to be her default setting, the idea that Kay customized her voice and appearance to be a less sexualized version. The advertisement version of Joy was not voiced by AnadeArmas, but first assistant editor Mary, whatever that last name is, she recorded a temporary voiceover, but the producers decided to keep it in the finished movie. There is a spot in the top of the small wooden horse's head where it looks as if a horn was located, but had since broken off. It is most clearly visible when Kay closely inspects the horse, ultimately leading him to Las Vegas. This would mean that the horse was originally a unicorn, which is a clear reference to unicorn symbolism playing a crucial role in the original movie.
Yep.
Signs visible in the movie include companies that suffered the alleged Blade Runner curse, most notably Pan Am, which went bankrupt in 1991, and Atari, which currently exists as a brand, but has not been a corporate entity since the mid-90s. The director explained that both movies take place in an alternate universe in which these companies remained corporate powerhouses and other companies like Apple did not exist. Ryan Gosling described it as a future in which Steve Jobs never existed, so all technology focuses on function rather than aesthetics.
And I think that's a great point to make and for people to understand. They're like, 2049, really? Like, you have to understand this is not our universe. This is an alternate sort of universe. Mm-hmm. And I think that these days people could have a better understanding of that now more than ever, knowing, with your MCU shit and all that stuff, like multiple universes, things like that. And I think that you kind of have to look at every movie in that aspect. Like, it's an alternate universe.
Well, you should anyway. It's not. Yeah. It's not real.
It's not a reality.
You should always be able to detach.
Yeah. And so look at every movie like an alternate universe or an alternate timeline where that happened. That's kind of how I view movies. Like, I try not to go into it like, oh, this is all fake. Like, yeah, of course it's fake, but I look at it like this could be what happened in an alternate timeline or alternate universe. Like, just any movie in general.
Nope. I'm not accepting it. We need to have our shit or flying cars and shit by 24/9.
Security and secrecy throughout the production were so high, this was nuts to me. I had to leave this in. That the producers and filmmakers adopted various measures to prevent leaks to the public, such as limiting the amount of behind-the-scenes publicity apart from an approved Omas video. To prevent the ending from being leaked, it was communicated verbally and not included in the scripts handed out to the actors and actresses. According to actor Lenny James, other security measures included such things as when actors and actresses were being considered for supporting roles were given scripts, they were required to decide whether to accept within 36 hours. The scripts were incomplete, mostly the first 20 pages, and a random number of pages that included their characters. Once an actor or actress accepted the offer, the full script was given. Everyone was subject to a non-disclosure agreement with heavy penalties for violation. Actors and actresses were searched at entry points to the set. Cell phones and cameras were forbidden. For each shooting day, actors and actresses were required to sign on the sides for the day when given and again when returning them, as they were not allowed to keep the sides. Failure to return them would result in not being allowed to leave the set at the end of the day. Digital scripts could only be opened on one device, copy protected, and were deleted automatically after a certain number of hours.
Imagine if you lost your side, couldn't find it. You were stuck here.
You were done.
You live here now.
You can never leave.
Could you imagine?
That's hardcore, right?
It's almost like fucking top secret.
I've heard of NDAs. I've heard of only giving out so much script at a time, but that, holy shit!
That's
especially
insane.
the part with things automatically deleting after so many hours.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, though,
no, it worked.
Yeah, for
Nobody
sure.
knew.
But the fact of the matter is that Blade Runner was a cult movie. Like, people adored that movie. So the expectation of the sequel it's a high bar to set.
Oh, yeah.
And so people were probably looking for anything they could get their hands on about the movie, who was in it, what the movie was about, sets, all that stuff. So I'm sure that it was like, we don't want to give anything away because we're going to have the press and everything all over this. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I could imagine.
Harrison Ford recommended Ryan Gosling for Officer K, and as coincidence would have it, the producers were already seeking him for the role. Rutger Hauer, who played Roy Batty in Blade Runner, was no fan of the sequel, stating that he felt that it looks great, but I struggle to see why that film was necessary. I just think if something is so beautiful, you should just leave it alone and not make another film. It's not a character-driven movie, and there's no humor, there's no love, there's no soul. You can see the homage to the original, but that's enough for me. Somebody's mad they weren't in it, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, wait till you hear what Emmett Walsh had to say.
Who's that?
The guy who played their boss, like the chief or whatever, in the first one.
Yeah.
He was in it for, all of 5 seconds?
No, he wasn't the chief. He was the other Blade Runner.
No. Emmett Walsh.
Oh, you mean all of 5 seconds in the first movie?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the other cop.
Yeah, the other cop. No.
Whatever it was.
I'm talking about their boss.
Yeah.
He had the one, like, if you guys don't quit fucking up, I'll take away your badges scene.
Right.
And that was it. For the director, there are 2 versions of Blade Runner. The theatrical cut is the story of a human being falling in love with a replicant, and the final cut is the story of a replicant that discovers its true identity. As for the movie, in the director's own words, it is made from the tension between those versions. Kind of like that. Ridley Scott started the production, was set to direct, but he had to drop out due to scheduling conflicts with Alien Covenant. He was credited as executive producer and creative consultant. He later regretted this decision, saying he would have preferred to do Blade Runner. Gary Oldman and Ed Harris were considered...
Yeah, but how much different would it be?
Yeah.
How much different would it have been?
I like this one. Let's just
I was going to say, I like this movie, so if I had to go back and be like, yeah, let's see what Ridley Scott could do with it, I don't want to, because I like this one enough that, like, I love Ridley Scott, I love his work, but I don't need him to do it.
Pretty happy with the way this turned out. Gary Oldman and Ed Harris were considered for the role of Neander Wallace. I personally thought Gary Oldman would be pretty good.
As who? Oh, Wallace?
Uh-huh. I mean, Gary Oldman can do anything.
Gary Oldman would be fantastic.
Yeah. All right, so here we are at Emmett Walsh, who played Chief Bryant in Blade Runner. Wasn't enthusiastic about the sequel. I thought the trailer looked interesting. If you look at the original Blade Runner, it is considerably slower than that trailer. I thought Harrison Ford looked good in the shots I saw of him. I don't know who the kid is. If someone sends me a free ticket, I would probably go see it, but I don't know if I would spend $11 or whatever it is to see it. It's sad to know they can make a film without me. Like, how full of yourself are you, dude?
Wow, dude.
Yeah. I thought this was kind of interesting. So the lead character, played by Ryan Gosling, is referred to as Kay and is later given the name Joe. The central character of Franz Kafka's novel, The Trial, about an innocent man being persecuted by people and forces beyond his control, is called Joseph K.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Dr. Stelling's introduction scene, she says we, seemingly referring to humans. We, however, has the double meaning of replicants. Rather than not doing the labor, they are forced to allowing we to be ambiguous of whether it is referring to humans or replicants. This foreshadows how Anna's origins are ambiguous, being born supposedly of a replicant and a human, and we can encompass both Anna and humans and Anna and replicants. I just think they're talking about her being, obviously, we're never going to know for sure if Deckard was a replicant, but, all signs point to yes. So that's wild. I think that would be more wild if 2 replicants could have a kid. Right?
Yeah. I'm more on the side of that he wasn't a replicant.
No, I think he was.
Because
I think in the original he was meant to be, and then in this one, it's kind of forced to say he wasn't. I really do.
I don't really... If he is
I'm not going to get into a debate about it.
Well, if he was a replicant, I'd be on that corner of saying, well, then their meeting and their falling in love was all planned.
Yeah, 100%, yeah. But they just didn't do a very good job of conveying that.
Right.
That's all. Let's see. The hologram joy as a pleasure program refers to the subgenre of pornography known as jerk-off instruction, which is why her name is JOI. Yeah, I didn't put that.
I didn't put that shit together.
I never would have guessed that. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Being 57 years old at the time of filming, Sean Young does not appear directly in this movie, but her character is recalled first with a picture and an upgraded footage from Blade Runner, and then played by a performance double. Young was brought in personally to train PETA in reproducing Rachel's characteristic gait and mannerisms from Blade Runner. The scenes were filmed with minimal crew and in total secrecy, and Young's contribution was purposely denied in media campaigns. In fact, perhaps as misdirection, Young had previously revealed that she wasn't asked by the producers to appear in this movie and went as far as requesting fans to boycott the movie if she was not in it.
Who was this?
Sean Young, Rachel.
She asked people to boycott the movie?
As a as a red herring. She knew she was going to be involved because she had to be there for like the young Rachel stuff.
Yeah.
But like they didn't want anyone else to know she was involved. Like even the actors, like all of her stuff was filmed in secret. So like the only people that knew were ones that were in those scenes or in So like she was like misdirecting. Yeah.
Okay. Like I say, that's a dick move. Fuck you, bitch. Like Rachel was a hoe.
Much like Eldon Tyrell in the first Blade Runner movie, Neander Wallace is obsessed with the creation of life and the purpose of society. This is very similar to the character of Mr. Wayland, the character from the Alien prequels by Ridley Scott. It has been suggested that Blade Runner and the Alien films exist in the same cinematic universe, primarily because both of the original films were directed by Scott and have similar themes. Dr. Anna Stelline makes a cake reminiscent of the Promise Cake in the video game Portal. Like the original, the cake is not real. And last one, while shooting a fight scene, Harrison Ford accidentally punched Ryan Gosling in the face.
I heard about that.
It's so funny because Harrison Ford seems like such a curmudgeon, right? Like he seems like such a grumpy old
crude,
man.
Yeah.
Until you see like how he is in life, like you see some of his interviews and stuff. And like, he is responsible for two of the funniest interviews I've ever seen in my life.
The one with
Conan.
She was my wife. No, that was Jimmy Kimmel. It was on Jimmy Kimmel, but it was
slow your
where
roll.
he's going back and forth between Chewbacca and him.
Yeah,
just
him
kidding.
And Chewbacca.
Yeah, I'm just kidding too.
Yeah, him and Chewbacca. You know what I mean? Like that was fucking funny. And then the other one was when him and Ryan Gosling did promotions for this, and they kept talking about how he punched him in the face.
Yeah, and they were talking shit about.
And Ryan Gosling's don't meet your heroes, people.
Yeah, don't meet your heroes.
Yeah. As an apology to his co-star, this is another reason why this dude, like, he looks and acts like a grumpy old man.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you he's not. As an apology to his co-star, Ford invited Gosling to share a bottle of Scotch whiskey with him and mooned him. That's it.
That's awesome.
What's in the box?
He does. He looks like a grumpy old bastard.
He does. He seems like the kind of guy you couldn't talk to without him being like, "Shut up, kid.
Get away from me."
Yeah, but like that kind of shit, like I'm willing to bet he's a lot more fun to hang out with than he acts like. I don't want to knock anything down.
Pow!
Let me see it. Let me just pick one. As much as I would love to do this, we're going to do Ninja Turtles 2.
Okay.
What is it?
It would have been Speed 2.
Oh no! I'm glad. Thank God.
It would have been Speed 2.
But it's got to go in there again, so we're gonna get it again. We're doing
we're gonna do TMNT 2.
Why?
Secret of the Use, because we have to get through these movies before you leave.
Oh yeah.
So, if y'all don't know or understand, or Madison's leaving, be July 2nd, and she could for the Navy. So, and that's whenever Jeremiah will be stepping in to replace her. So. Yeah.
It's not a very big shoes to fill, so I'm not worried.
Size 8s? What size shoe does he wear?
I don't
know. 9.5 or 10. You don't even know his.
No, why would I know his shoe size? He buys his own damn shoes. He ain't my kid.
I don't buy my shoes. Crystal buys them for me. Unless I buy my own work boots, but like
He'd
shoes.
Be the same pair of tennis shoes he was whenever he had me, if it was up to him.
Yeah.
He doesn't buy shit until it starts to like talk to him, you know, and bottom's going like this. But yeah, no, I don't buy his shoes. I don't know what fucking size he wears.
It's the first time I've seen that.
Yeah.
What is it?
Sorry, nothing to see here. On Just Watch.
What? That's weird.
Yeah, it says, sorry, nothing to see here.
Something went wrong though. I bet
Are
it's
those
your
Ninja Turtles up there?
Yeah, it's the Ninja Turtles. It's the second one.
It's on Prime.
Yeah, I was getting ready to look.
We have it actually on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Yeah. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Heroes in a Half Shell.
Heroes in a Half Shell. Turtle Power.
They're the world's most fearsome fighting team.
You can rent it on Amazon, or you can rent it anywhere, really.
Yeah, see, it's
There's
all
nowhere to
rent or
stream
buy.
it.
Huh?
But yeah. So
Sorry. Not even really seeing the word she's.
so
I'm
next
trying to be
week we're gonna
quiet.
do Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, which is honestly a lot of people's favorite of the 3 originals.
I honestly don't think I've seen the second one.
Never. You're
Really?
gonna like it. I think you'll like it. Yeah,
I like
it's
the
a fun
fir-
movie.
I like the first one more than
I
do
like the
any of
first
them.
one the most.
I'm sure I'm not gonna hate it.
I've
You're not
always
gonna hate
liked
it,
the
no.
first one the most.
A lot of people like the second one because it's
You
more
went through a
fun.
phase where you liked the second one the most.
For me?
Yeah, I remember asking you whenever I was little which one was your favorite, and you would say the second one, and I would always tell you the first one was mine, mainly because the dish that we had was cheese pizza, and at the time I really liked cheese pizza, but now I don't really like cheese pizza. I like pepperoni pizza.
Wow.
Yeah.
But the first one's
I
still
love
my
how your
favorite.
memories are interconnected to things. Like,
Anyway,
I love it.
I've always remembered the first one to be my favorite because it was always the more darker toned one. It was the more comic book accurate version
Yeah, definitely.
and things like that. So that's why I always liked that one more. The second one is fun, though. I will give it that. The only thing that it lacks is a fight between the Turtles and Shredder.
Kevin Nash.
Huh?
Almost.
Kevin Nash.
But it did have Kevin Nash. So you won't see
Who's
him.
Kevin Nash?
He was a wrestler. He also was Diesel
Yep.
in WCW.
Does Splinter play anybody in this one like he did in the first one, where they carried his ass all the way to the fight and then he just
No,
on
no,
up to
he
it.
doesn't do anything in this movie.
Mm.
Any fake outs?
I mean, he did, man. He
he
faked
was
that shit.
conserving his chakra.
I
Yeah,
guess
no,
like, he
he
was
didn't do
conserving
anything in this
energy.
Yeah.
Now this one's got like ninja
Carry
rap.
me, you peasants.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's basically he was
It's
like,
got the
he's
ninja
like, I
rap
can't
scene
walk.
with
It's
Vanilla
got the-
Ice.
It's got the.
Oh
Karate
yeah,
Kid
go
in it.
ninja, go ninja, go,
Go ninja, go ninja,
yeah,
go.
I do remember
Go,
the song.
go.
Go.
Anyway. Vanilla Ice promoted the fuck out of that song too
Yeah,
whenever
he
it
did.
came out. Anyway, next week we're gonna do TMNT 2. Forget about them socials down there, and I guess have a chill ass week and watch Ninja Turtles, man.
So
If
can
you
come
haven't
and
seen
catch
it,
up with
even
us.
if you have seen it, watch it again.
Worth it. I mean,
Totally worth it. Worth it.
if you
Buy
don't
it.
like it, then don't talk to me.
Yeah, if you don't have it and you don't like, well, how do I watch it? Buy it. Just buy it.
You ever seen Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? No. Fuck you.
Yeah, literally, we can't be friends
I used to have
anymore,
all of
man.
them on VHS.
Yeah, you did.
My friend Andrea, she'd never, or not Andrea, Taylor, she'd never seen them before, so we sat down for 2 hours and watched the second one because I didn't want to pay for the first one. 'Cause we were
After
gonna
a
watch it
time,
the
I
next
stopped
week.
watching anything ninja because he burnt me. He was a ninja freaking crazy person when
So
he was
was
a
I
kid.
as a kid.
Ninjas are cool, though.
The three ninjas.
Oh no, I mean just teenage. I love.
No,
the
it
Three
was
Ninjas, though.
ninja anything. If it had ninja in it, he wanted to see. I remember renting Kung Pao for him. Like, I hadn't hung out with him in a really long time because I was like older, and I was like, hey, I'll go rent some movies and we'll hang out tonight. We ordered like a pizza and then like we sat down and I was like, I got this one because it's a ninja movie. And then we started watching it. I was like, this is fucking great.
Kung Pao's amazing.
It's
I don't care what
fucking
anybody
awesome.
says. The movie's awesome.
You remember when we made Mom so mad? Sitting at the table going, wee, 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 wee. She was like, will you two shut up and
My
eat your
nipples
food?
look like milk duds.
Josh hates that so
I know
much.
he fucking hates that movie with a passion. I was like, I
Chosen
don't know why you hate
one.
that movie. It's fucking hilarious, dude.
Chosen one, I'm coming.
Bye-bye.
That movie's
I'm
great.
caught in this tiny net.
That's definitely the movie you get really baked and watch. You get stoned as fuck.
I've
The
never
smallest
watched that.
fucking-
You
dude.
would laugh your ass off. Especially like me, I don't get high. So if I got high and watched it, I haven't seen the movie in forever. It's like a new experience at this point because I'm stoned and I'm watching this movie that I haven't seen in probably 15 years.
It's too bad this isn't public domain, so we could actually do Kung
watch.
Pao on
Oh,
watch.
that would be great.
That would be awesome. I wish we had
Yay!
the ability to be able to do that. Anyway, next week, TMNT2. We'll see you guys later. You guys have a wonderful weekend.
Okay, bye.
Weekend.
Bye.
Bye.
Weekend. Bye.